should put my eyes on. Greetings, everyone. This is Cassandra-Floyd, also known as the Daughter of the Fates, founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. We are the breakers of curses, the casters of glorious conspiracies, and the creators of the new world. I, Cassandra-Floyd, am a divine instrument of my mother's divine will. As such, I am protected and guided by the sacred blood and water of my mother, Jacqueline Jeanette Cook's body that anointed my entry into this life. I am divine because she is divine. Mommy and I are one. I call all of our mothers to this moment. I call on they who govern everything, all time and every space in between. She with 10,000 names. Today it is Oya, Yemaya, Oshun, Iami Ajay, divine architects of existence, usheresses of the new age. Mommy and I are one. I call upon all the divine ancestors and the ashe of every mother on earth to break every curse ever cast upon the mother and her children. In all timelines and every dimension, Mommy and I are one. We, the mother's divine children, conspire together today to forever bind those who have or would harm you, great mother. Mommy and I are one. We conspire together today to destroy everything and everyone and every timeline and dimension that has caused suffering and despair. Mommy and I are one. Today, we embody the sacred and divine power of our mothers. Today, we the tree, we the weavers, rewrite all time. Today, we the tree, we the weavers, rewrite the book of life. Today, we, our mother's children, call the winds of change. We conjure the primordial dark. We summon the sacred serpent deep from within the earth. We subdue the rogue sun. We control the light. We heal the harmed. We embolden the fearful, and we instill courageous action. Today, we are staging a global evolution as is our mother's divine will. Mommy and I are one. We, the architects of the new age, now create the new institutions, the new traditions, the new culture, the new ways of being. We ecstatically welcome the radical destruction of all institutions of harm and hate, erected by the godheads of war. Mommy and I are one. We have the power. We have the voice. We are the portals of change. Now we employ our sacred breath and we give life and sacred blood to this conspiracy. Mommy and I are one. We command, come the wind, come the storm, come the lightning, capture and judge all godheads of war and all betrayers of the mother's divine will. Bring their confusion and war to an immediate end. Scatter them to oblivion, never to be resurrected. We are the fates. We are the furies. We are the Iami Ajay. We are the disseminators of divine time, divine retribution, divine rectification, and evolutionary justice. Mommy and I are one. We are the restorers of heaven on earth under the mother's divine reign. We wake the sacred serpent from her sleep to assist us in this sacred assignment. Mommy and I are one. Love unlimited is our birthright. Harmony is our birthright. Ecstasy is our birthright. Pleasure is our birthright. Freedom is our birthright. This is her divine will. We are the divine executors of her will. We speak her will into the now to reverberate throughout all time, all space, and all dimensions. It is certainly as we say, forever and ever. Mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. Now to the glorious conspiracy of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. I, Cassandra-Floyd, as a peculiar expression of the almighty divine she, the great cosmic mother, now join in breath with my global family to conspire on behalf of the whole made well. We are breathing these words together to ensure that our home, her body, is restored to her original perfect glory. Her glory is perfect in peace, love, bliss, happiness, and ecstasy. This world exists because we collectively will it so. We, as the representatives of the mother's reign on earth, speak this beautiful conspiracy as a single, cosmic, earthly orchestra to guarantee heaven on earth in joyful compliance with our mother's divine will. Possessing the power of our mothers, we speak this glorious future now. It is certainly as we say, Mommy and I are one. And last, but certainly not least, the chant down of Babylon and all its conspirators. Thrice 300 years having run their course of fulfillment, Rome by the strife her people shall perish. Rome is doomed to perish, and that indeed by the judgment of God, because it held her name in hatred, and being the enemy of righteousness, it destroyed the people who kept the truth. There shall come to thee sometime from above a heavenly stroke deserved, O haughty Rome, and thou shalt be the first to bend thy neck and be raised to the ground, and thee shall fire destructive utterly consume, cast down upon thy pavements, and thy wealth shall perish, and wolves and foxes dwell in thy foundations, and then shalt thou be wholly desolate, as if not born. Woo! Boy, I needed that today. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Ooh, I needed that today. So, greetings, everyone. Greetings, everyone. Greetings, everyone. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, that is our reinitiation on this here third anniversary of the founding of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence, the reinitiation of the global conspiracy to right all wrongs. So as we started in May 20th of 2025, we're going to re-begin reciting the global conspiracy to right all wrongs. Thank you so much for the donation, Ken's Color Box. We're going to re-begin reciting the global conspiracy to right all wrongs every day at 11:11 at 11:11 Pacific. 11:11 Universal Time. 11:11 Universal Time. So that would be 4:11 my time here on the West Coast. You understand? And this is going to be ongoing, this ritual that we are going to be doing every day, because we have a world to change. We have a world to change. You understand? And so this is going to be the absolute bare minimum that everybody who is able to speak. And as a matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, I might need to find somebody that knows ASL to do a video for us of the global conspiracy to right all wrongs in American Sign Language, so that even those who vocal cords don't work can still participate in the global conspiracy to right all wrongs. So I hope you all are well. Um, I hope you all are well. Just looking through the mountainous myriad of notes that I have. Uh, yes. So we can talk today. And I'm going to tell you, there is no telling what is going to happen when I begin the process of opening my mouth. Okay? I have definitive intentions, but y'all know sometimes my intentions get hijacked. Okay? My intentions sometimes get hijacked by divine intervention, if you will. And given the fact that today Jupiter has stationed retrograde, let's see where Jupiter is retrograde at. But I told y'all last night. Oop, my bad. Uh, Chat. I have got to get these notes organized. This is madness. Hey, man. Mm-hmm. Yes. That's okay. So yes, to yesterday, Mercury stationed retrograde in Sagittarius, and then today Jupiter stations retrograde in Cancer, which is huge, and it will be retrograde in Cancer until March 11th. So strap in. You understand? Strap in. I think the last thing I was talking to you guys about last night, because I know I seemed all over the place. The last thing I was talking to you guys about last night was the Uranus. Let's see, the Uranus, because also on the 7th, Uranus entered Taurus. We talked about that for a long time last night. And the energy of Uranus retrograde in Taurus, and it will be there until 426 of, so it's retrograde in Taurus, and as retrograde in Taurus, and that will be there until April 26th of next year. And so that energy of Uranus retrograde in Taurus until 426. Remember, I was telling you last night that Lori Lothian was saying that, and because of its proximity to Al Ghul, the star Al Ghul, that it represents some kind of decapitation. Remember that? I was going off on it last night. I wanted to go deeper, but I knew I couldn't. Not last night, night before last. And it also represented potential attack by open air enemies of the United States, right? So I just want to say, within the context of open air enemies and decapitation, decapitation, yeah, okay. I want to say something. Let's see what's going on here, because it may be yes. So thank you, Desire Kamara, for your donation. Thank you, GJP, for your donation. Let's see. Awesome. Thank you so much, Lavina, Poetic Empress, everybody that's on IG. Yes. Okay. Okay. I see everybody up in here on IG. Love it. Love it. Love it. And everybody that is tuning in, cut it out. Cut it out. Let me go handle this. I tell y'all, every time I start talking, that's when everybody want to cut the fuck up. I'm talking about all these cats in this damn house. Everybody been chill all day. Now all of a sudden, everybody want to be turned up. Cut it out, turkey. Okay. So everybody, welcome. Thank you for the donation. Balance Justice 679. So some housekeeping before I get into what I am certain will be inspired. Housekeeping. So those of you who do know that I have launched a GoFundMe. If you need information about that GoFundMe, for several of you, I put that actually in the chat on YouTube before y'all even came up in the room. So if you go all the way back up to the top of the comment section, you'll see the links to be able to support the GoFundMe. to make direct donations through Zelle, through Venmo, Cashapp, or PayPal. And so for those of you who are tuning in via IG, you're going to have to email me. You're going to have to email me for the information about the GoFundMe. And the email address for the temple is evoemetemp That's evoemetemp@gmail.com. And 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 then you can also use that email to make donations either through PayPal or Zelle. Zelle is preferred because PayPal is out of control with its fees. And then also, if you want to make a donation via Cash App, you can do that. $ Daughter of the Fates, FATES, Daughter of the Fates. If you want to make a donation via Venmo, oh, thank you so much. Who is that? Cher Fowler just ordered on my Etsy store. I love the little cha-ching. So, and then also you can make a donation through Venmo using my name, Cassandra, with 2 S's, Cassandra-Floyd. If you want to support in other ways, if you would like to get a reading, aka divination, send me an email so I can tell you how to book a session. That is evoemetemp, and put reading in the subject header. And then also, last but not least, you can support through making a purchase through the Etsy store, which too is Daughter of the Fates. So it is DaughterOfTheFates.etsy.com. DaughterOfTheFates.etsy.com. If it doesn't come up for you that way, then just go to Etsy.com and put Daughter of the Fates, FATES, in the search engine. Okay, so those are the ways that you can support. I'm getting ready to teach a workshop in a week on how to make the awesome little rattle that I was using to call the ancestors and the spirits into the room while we was chanting down Babylon. So I'm really excited about that because it's going to be a bunch of kids that I'm teaching the workshop to on how to make a fly ass rattle. So I'm hype about that. And I'm actually about to work on another project because I was I'll have to look for the notes, but basically I was looking up like ancient instruments, particularly Kemetic instruments. And I haven't finished the one with the thimbles, but I'm really fascinated by the instruments that were used, in the old days, because the instruments weren't just quote things to play on. Every instrument had like a deep and profound meaning. Typically they were dedicated. Each instrument was dedicated to a very specific deity. So I'm, starting to collect information around that because the next thing that I'm going to make, because I have another sacred sound conspiracy coming up in about 3 weeks. And so I want to make a couple of new instruments before that comes up. Greetings, Shanta J. Balance, Ken's Color Box, Zahar Vodun, thank you for the donation, dear. Maya S. Royal, thank you for the donation. Thank you for the donation. Ari the Altar, thank you for joining. Yolanda Volsi, thank you for being up in here. Claudia Ankra, what's the what? Let's see who else is up in here that I might have missed. Nina La Negra, FG Apothecary, what? Let's see who else up in here. Desire Kamara, let's go. Yes, Vayoni, how you doing? Cool. Everybody in the spot. All right. So happy anniversary to the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. It is our 3rd birthday, and I have a sneaking suspicion that this is going to be the year of years for us. I turned 50 this year. The temple turned 3 this year. I feel like this year is going to be our year of manifestation, our year of contention. You understand? And when I say contention, I mean outright bodacious contention. I feel like this our year. I feel like this our year. And yes, so I was gonna say something. Oh yes, about the decapitation and the open air enemies of the United States, and that. Oh, okay, that's what's up. Happy belated, balanced justice. Okay, so let me just tell you, decapitation and the open air enemies of the United States of America. I've been watching so many videos. Please, okay, there is other housekeeping. There is other housekeeping. It is so important. There is other housekeeping. Okay. I really want to stress the utmost importance. It is so important, and I don't know if I can articulate it enough how important it is. We are still in what looks like the very infancy and foundational phases of building the temple of evolutionary emergence. And so there is no small task, there is no small way that you can participate in building, in laying this foundation. I mean that. There is no small or insignificant way that you can contribute to laying the foundation of what is to become. And the reason I am saying that is because I was going through many videos of mine, because this YouTube thing, right? I was going to look through my statistics and realized that there were easily 30 comments that I have never seen. So I'm going through trying to respond to the comments, you feel me? And so it's leading me to videos that were brought back into my immediate consciousness. And so many of them were timely. So timely. Like today, I saw the video because somebody had commented on it and I'd never seen the comment of the day that I wrote the global conspiracy of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence, the first one, and that was 2 years ago, and I remember what gave rise. If you should go back and see it, but what gave rise to it was I had gone on a deep dive about the significance of this day, right? Because for those of us who give a fuck, today is Veterans Day. And so that video was, it was a little bit intense. I lost some followers. I lost some followers over that video. And because I lost some followers, people that I really actually like, y'all, because I lost some followers off that video, I had gone back then at least twice and watched the whole video straight through to see if maybe I was being too rough. This brings me to a point. As a matter of fact, see if I was being too rough. You understand? Maybe I should take it easy on y'all. Maybe I should pull back the reins. You feel me? Because people be so quick to be in their little tender ass emotions. You feel me? And so when I lost these followers, I'll be honest, I was very sad. I took it very personal for quite some time. At least 2 of these followers that I lost, my feelings was hurt. I can be truthful about it. I'm human. I be tender spirited. You feel me? And so I was, my feelings was hurt, right? And so I rewatched the video. This me second guessing me like I don't know better. So I was like, you know what? Let me just go back. Maybe I do. Maybe I do need to maybe I do need to to temper my tongue. You feel me? Maybe I do need to temper my tongue. And I went back over that video I'm talking about back then, and I ended up making like 6 shorts off that one video. I'm talking about the video that I released about 2 years ago on 11/11, because I had gone on this deep dive about Veterans Day and why the history of why this day, 11/11, was chosen to honor not only the United States of America, but also Canada celebrates this day. And at the time, Great Britain recognized this day, right? It was the signing of the what was it called? The Treaty of Versailles. The Treaty of Versailles that officially ended the First World War. And the Treaty of Versailles was signed on 11/11 at 11:11 a.m. in the year 1919, which reduces to the number 11. And to this day, that was over 100 years ago that the Treaty of Versailles was signed on 11/11 at 11/11 on a year that reduced to the number 11. And so I really honed in on that, because we cannot continue to play down our enemy. We cannot continue to. I bum rushed y'all emails today. Any of y'all who have ever sent an email, I bum rushed the hell out of y'all emails today, because for the first time in a long time, I was laid up on TikTok. You feel me? And laid up on TikTok watching this one channel that blew my mind, because it was just going through circumstance after circumstance, situation after situation, event after event, revelation after revelation, which is what all y'all promised us this year. Not only this year, every year till 2044, because she keeps saying, y'all can't win unless you know what the hell you are up against. Y'all can't win unless you know what the hell you're up against. So I got to show you your enemies. That's why she say that. That's why she's the guardian of revelations. That's why she is the owner of masks. That's why she is the goddess of radical winds of transformation. I got to show you your enemies so that you know what you are up against. Because if you don't know, if you keep playing down the gruesomeness of your enemy, the diabolical nature of your enemy, the wickedness unimaginable, still, as much as we know about our enemy in every day something, when you think that they cannot surprise you no more in how low they will stoop and how wicked they will be, and they diabolatry just gets deeper and more exposed, deeper and more exposed, deeper and more exposed. I was up in here mad today. I was up in here mad today. Mad today. I was up in here mad today. Because just when I think, as well versed in history as I am, that there is nothing that could be revealed to me that could make me hate my enemy more, something else bubbles up to the surface to remind me. Something else bubbles up to the surface to remind me. And I have to say it out loud, and then this is the last rant I'm gonna go on that's gonna be like this nature. But something bubbles up to the surface to remind me that there cannot be peace on earth without retribution. That's my position. That is my final position. There cannot be peace on earth without retribution. There cannot be peace on earth without revenge. There cannot be peace on earth without those who have been victimized incessantly by diabolatry, to galvanize from deep within them the courage necessary to raise this bitch to the ground. There is nothing redemptive in it. There is nothing redemptive in it. Nothing. There is nothing redemptive within it. There is nothing within it worth saving, worth salvaging. Nothing. 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 I walk back every single time that I ever said, that I ever implied, in my deep and profound love for human beings, in my deep and profound love for human beings, in my deep and profound love to see human beings happy and joyful and peaceful and well, I got caught up. And I got reminded today. That multiple things can be true at the same time. Multiple things can be true at the same time. Absolutely, yes. So I revel in happiness. I revel in it. I revel in displays of joy and excitement and happiness. I revel in seeing people's health transformed right before my eyes. I do. And just as much as I love that, as much as when I tell you a deep and profound, sometimes borderline insane love for human beings, not only a love for human beings, but a belief in us. I believe in us. I do. I believe in us. And just as much as I love and believe in us is as much as I hate our enemies. As deep and profound as my love is for us is as deep and profound as my hatred is for our opposition, for our goddamn opposer, for our goddamn enemy. For listen to me today. I hate our adversary. I hate our adversary. I hate our adversary. I hate our adversary. I wish them no well. I wish them no well. I wish them no well. As a matter of fact, I should pull out y'all Bible is what I should do. Because even your Bible say that those who I have judged. Now, you know what? I'm going to look up this scripture because we need this today. I didn't know this was going to be a word, but we need this today. Hold on, let me pull out my Bible. Somebody do me a favor because I all my little technology is being used right now. There is a scripture, and it says something to the effect of those who I have judged, do not go and warn them. This is your Bible, by the way. Those who I have judged, do not go and warn them. Look, see if you can Google. See if you can look. See if you can open up the search engine and type in that much. What scripture says, those who I have judged, do not go to warn them. If that's not enough, I can try to remember the rest, but I need to know that whole scripture. Those who I have judged, this your God talking. This your God talking. But you know how we say. Everywhere it say he in that book, we say she. This is our God talking. So especially since this little thing right here is the greatest work of plagiarism in modern history. Anyway, this our shit right here. We gonna open up this book and go to see what the mother has to say about our adversary today. Because when I tell you, as much as we know about the harm that has been done to us, to know. Thank you so much, Ken's Color Box. As much as we know about the damage, the harm that has been done to us, to be able every single day of the week for the rest of your life You could not get to the bottom of the pit of despair imposed on us by our goddamn adversary. And somebody has to pay. They have to pay. They have to pay. And so that's where we at today. That's where I'm at today. I am so happy. I'm so excited. I'm so turned up that this is the anniversary of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. And I am not going to rant and rage this whole time, but I do have to get this off my chest. I got to get this off my chest because I too, you will go back. Even today, went back over some of my old videos, and even though I believe in justice and all of this shit, I too sometimes fall for the okie doke. That we are going to be able to change the world. Let me tell you something. Let me go ahead and read these scriptures because listen. Okay, so Jeremiah 16:5. Let's start with that one. Okay, Jeremiah 16:5. For thus saith the Lord, the goddess, enter not into the house of mourning, neither go to lament nor bemoan them. For I have taken away my peace from these people, saith the goddess, even loving kindness and mercies. Can we come on in the room? Because this was not planned. I did not plan to pull out the book on y'all. I didn't plan to pull the book out on y'all. But when I tell you my whole body is buzzing right now, full on buzzing. We're gonna go back a little further into this. I like this one. Who sent me that? Why you took that off? Can's color box? Put it back up. Put your scriptures back up. Can color box, why you deleted them? I'm gonna go through all of them. Don't worry about it. Put it back up. So we're gonna go back to the beginning of Jeremiah 16. And I done told y'all, so don't act confused. For those of you who might be new, I'm gonna read. No, go ahead and put it back up. I'm gonna go through all of them. Several people put up scriptures. I'm gonna go through all of them because I'm sure they all got something to say that we need today. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Okay. But everywhere it say Lord, everywhere it say He, talking about God, we gonna put up in the goddess. This her shit. The word of the goddess came also unto me, saying, Thou shalt not take thee a wife, neither shalt thou have sons or daughters in this place. Uh-oh. What? Ooh, shit. Yeah, I remember I was going off for some time. I don't remember how long ago it was. It might have been a year or two, but I was going off for some time. I was like, this diabolical, monstrous bitch right here. And I was like, if you have me, it was 2 years ago because I was going off for some time about the 4B movement in Korea before it started really popping off in popularity. And I kept saying, I said, they ain't wrong. I said, as a matter of fact, we all need to be following suit. Those of us who have uteruses we all need to be following suit. As a matter of fact, everybody need to close down shop for a good 5 years to give her a break, to give the goddess a break, to give the earth a break. First of all, why would we continue to produce offspring in this malignant, monstrous motherfucker? Why would we continue to do that to our babies, to our children, to our potential descendants? Why would we do that? I kept saying that. We need a good 5 years of just everybody just shut down the baby making factory. Shut it down. Give the goddess some time to recover and recuperate. And at the same time, teach these Y-bearing chromosome human beings a lesson about what true power looks like, where it's housed, where it lives. Didn't I say that? How are we reading this today? I'm in a mood. This might be a whole sermon, y'all. This might be a whole ass sermon today. She say, the word of the goddess came also unto me, saying, Thou shalt not take thee a wife, neither shalt thou have sons or daughters in this place. For thus saith the goddess concerning the sons and concerning the daughters that are born in this place, and concerning their mothers and that bear them, and concerning their fathers that beget them in this land, they shall die of grievous deaths. They shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried, but they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth. Oh my goodness. And they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and for the beasts of the earth. For thus saith the goddess, enter not into the house of mourning, neither go to lament nor bemoan them, for I have taken away my peace from these people, saith the goddess, even loving kindness and mercies. Both the great and the small shall die in this land. They shall not be buried, neither that shall men lament for them, nor cut themselves, nor make themselves bald for them. What in the hell? Woo! 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 Neither shall men tear themselves for them in mourning to comfort them for the dead. Neither shall men give them the cup of consolation to drink for their father or for their mother. Thou shalt not also go into the house of feasting to sit with them to eat and drink. For thus saith the Lord of hosts and the God of Israel, behold, I will cause to cease out of this place in your eyes and in your days the voice of mirth and the voice of gladness and the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride. Whoa. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Listen. Do you know what this Bible just said? Those that I have judged, let them not hear you sing. Let them not hear you be happy. Let them not hear. What she say? She said, cease out of this place your eyes, your days, your voices of mirth, your voices of gladness, the voice of happiness of the bridegroom and the bride. Don't listen. Do not give them the benefit of witnessing your happiness, your glee, your mirth. Cut them the fuck off. Cut them off. Cut them off. That's it. Oh my God, y'all. There's a word up in here. Then thou shalt say, let's see, what it say? Do not let them witness the happiness of the bridegroom or the bride. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt show these people all these words, and they shall say unto thee, wherefore hath the goddess pronounced all this great evil against us? Why has she condemned us? Why has she condemned us? Huh? And it shall come to pass when thou shalt show these people all these words, and they shall say unto thee, wherefore thou hast the goddess pronounced all these great evils against us? Or what is our iniquity? Or what is our sin that we have committed against her? She say right here, they gonna play stupid. They gonna play dumb. That you gonna warn them, you gonna tell them what's what, and they gonna act stupid. They gonna act like they don't know what they did. It's right here. It's right here. It's right here. You gonna say, this is what the goddess's judgment is. You've been warned over and over and over and over and over and over. I feel vindicated today. I do. I feel vindicated today. That you have told them over and over and over and over again. And then when their time has come, They gonna look at you and like, what do? We ain't do nothing. Like I ain't never had no slaves, and you ain't never been no slave. We all bleed red. That's what they gonna say. Why is this happening to us as plantations burn down in the South? Why is this happening to us? We didn't do anything wrong. We good, God-fearing Christian people. Why would our president betray us so? All we have been doing is running our farms stolen from the natives. All we have been doing is working the land, working slaves out of Mexican people. All we have done is be good Christians, good patriotic Americans. Why would this be happening to us? Why would our good Christian professed president turn his attacks on us after we voted for him? That's what they're going to say. Right here in this book, that's what it say. They're going to play dumb. They're going to act stupid when you tell them what's what. Then thou shalt say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me, saith the goddess, and have walked after other gods, like gods of war, and have served them, and have worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not kept my law, and ye have done worse than your father. Listen. And you think you so good that because you quote don't own no slaves, that somehow you are better than your forefathers in this book right here say all this you done did, you feel me? And then what she say here? She say, this is 16:11, Jeremiah 16:11. And then thou shalt say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me, thus saith the goddess, and have walked after other gods, and have served. Who are those other gods? The make-believe gods, erected from the madness of these males who have parted ways with the goddess, who have parted ways with the true God. And have erected a malignant, make-believe, white-haired, white beard in white robes, Father God in a white heaven that don't exist nowhere in the universe. There ain't no white heaven nowhere in the universe. Nowhere in the universe. You have worshiped them. You feel me? And you have forsaken me, and you have not kept my laws, and ye have done worse than your fathers. You done been worse than your daddy. No. You feel me? Hold on. You have done worse than your fathers. For behold, ye walk every one after imagination of his evil heart, that they may not hearken unto me. Oh, 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 oh my God. Ooh, ooh. Ye have done worse than your fathers, for behold, ye walk every one after the imagination of his evil heart. She talking about the God of this malignant child's imagination that he created in his own malignancy and erected and presented to you, and you chase after the God of his imagination as opposed to me. Of his evil heart, that they may not hearken unto me. You follow him so that you cannot even hear the goddess anymore. You follow him so that you cannot even hear her voice anymore. This is what she's saying right here, y'all. This is what she's saying. I'm having a whole, see what I said? Can color box? That's why I said keep it. Keep it. The mother got something to say, and it ain't just through me. She may have something to say through you too. You feel me? So keep it. Trust it. Therefore, boy, I didn't know we was going to get up in here like this tonight. Therefore, I will cast you out of this land and into a land that ye know not, neither ye nor your fathers, and there shall ye serve other gods day and night, where I shall not show you favor. Oh my. Oh, we don't want to have this conversation. Ooh, we do not have. Thank you for the donation, Java Watson and Homegirl 007. We do not want to have this conversation today, child. Thank you for the donation, Shanta J. We do not want to. Thank you for the donation, Beverly. Beverly Duke, 9752. I don't think I missed anybody else. Okay, we don't want to have this conversation today because it say, therefore, behold, the days come, saith the goddess, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the goddess liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north and from all the lands whither he had driven them. And I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the goddess, and they shall fish them. And after I will send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. For my eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from my eyes. And first I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double, because they have defiled my land, and they have filled mine inheritance with the carcasses of their detestable and abominable things. O goddess, my strength and my fortress, and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles. What is the? Somebody search the etymology of the word Gentile for me. Somebody search the etymology of the word Gentile for me real quick and put it in the comment section. The Gentile shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. Shall a man make gods unto himself, and they are no gods? Therefore, behold, I will this once cause them to know. I will cause them to know mine hand and my might, and they shall know that my name is the goddess, is the goddess, is the goddess. Let's see. The sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron and with the point of a diamond. It is engraven upon the table of their heart and upon the horns of their altars, whilst their children remember their altars and their groves by the green trees upon the high hills. O my mountain in the field, I will give thy substance and all thy treasures to the spoil, and thy high places for sin throughout all thy borders. Okay, so I think that's it on that. But that was a word. That was word. Jeremiah 16. Let's see. Okay, so before I go on to the next scriptures y'all laid up in here for me, I want to step back for a second, because we came in that gate swinging. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, okay. Y'all gave me some words up in here. Hold on just a minute. Let me go back real quick. Shantae says she is wearing her rattlesnake pendant right now. I have a few of those left, though. If you need to get yourself a powerful little talisman made out of rattlesnake skin, or out of I think I may have 5 of the beetles left. You better get your life right. Let's see. Instruments. Happy birthday to Dr. Cassandra, Balance in the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. Hope I got the name of the temple right. Yes, you did, boo. Yes, you did. Let's see. Okay, somebody has some information about the star Algol. Decapitation, Beta Perseus in Perseus constellation, demon star. Greeks associated the star with Medusa, the snake-haired Gorgon. hold on, let me take a note. Can you Nina La Negra, can you email me that that note that you just put in the comment section about Algol, please? It says the snake hair gorgon. Algol in Arabic means the ghoul or the demon's head. Because I can't write this down. Please be sure, evoemetemp@gmail.com. Please email me that note. Let's see. And then Yolanda says, okay, great. Awesome. Let's see. We're in a situation ourselves. Okay. I got that email from you, Yolanda, about the weight, I don't know how to pronounce that, but the Waitmans. Let's see. Okay. 250 to 251. The Women's Dictionary of Symbols and Sacred Objects. Hey, cut it out. Ooh, hold on. Who is that? What's your problem? What's your problem? Now? It's annoying. Here. It's annoying. Y'all might not be able to hear them, but they in here cutting the fuck up. Okay, Ghoul, Kalima, Celtic Kalek, and the Finnish Kalma, she who eats the dead. Oh, there you go. Thank you for that, Nina La Negra. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Let's go back. But before I go, because I don't want to forget this, okay? So I was saying before I digressed to the scripture, because what I was thinking about was the scripture that says, to not warn those who I have already cast judgment upon, right? And I was talking about this video that I did 2 years ago today about the reason for the global conspiracy of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. The point that I was making was, what can we implement today that can have the same kind of long-lasting impact that this thing that we do today on 11/11 at 11/11, which is when I did it, on 11/11 at 11/11, right? Can we create this global conspiracy that 120 years from now, somebody will say, this is when that happened. This is the video of when and why that needed to happen. Can we too create an institution that, even if we are not here to see it, can have an unending, long-standing impact on the future that can counteract what has been done? Because they were certain of it when they signed the Treaty of Versailles on 11/11, at 11/11, in a year that reduced to the number 11. They were certain. They were clear about what they did. And so when I went back to look at the video, because several people, heart chakra was offended. It wasn't their heart chakra. It was the patriarch in their head. They thought it was their heart chakra, but it was the patriarch in their head that was offended by many things that I said in that live that day. And so I'm saying, okay, maybe I need to go back and, see if I owe somebody an apology. Maybe it was too rough around the edges, and maybe I need to apologize. And the reason I'm saying that is because I didn't get to talk to you about it yesterday, but while I was in my my little deep dive study about the civics, the little mini civics course that I gave y'all yesterday about the meaning of Senate and why your ass been hoodwinked and shit. And a word came up because I did not know this. A word came up that I was like, nope, I need to share this with them. That back then I'd made up my mind. There was nothing that I needed to apologize. I was not going to apologize. That if your feelings is too tender to take what I have to say to you, and you know it comes from nothing but a place of love, then you definitely are not on the right channel. So what I had found was this was about a certain type of legislation during the wonderful Roman Republic that Gavin Newsom has now said 4 or 5 times. Somebody sent me videos after I said that yesterday, talked about Gavin Newsom doing this speech in Texas day 4 yesterday or 3 days ago, talking about in this America that looks like, what did he say? A great Greek republic. I mean, a great Greek democracy and a great Roman republic. And nobody threw a shoe at his motherfucking face because we don't pay attention. No, somebody should have threw a shoe off the strength. Somebody should have threw a shoe at his head. So I'm telling y'all, I was like, okay, he said what he said. Now I'm gonna let me go in a deep dive, and then that's what I talked to y'all about yesterday. So if you day before yesterday, so if you missed it, you need to go back and watch it, right? And then somebody sent me a video where he in different meetings over the last couple of weeks that said the same thing multiple times, and you really do not believe they be playing in your face. What is he saying? He's saying, I'm a part of the clique. It ain't just Reds. It ain't just Trump. We all want y'all back on the goddamn plantation. This is the evidence. When I keep talking about the glorious Greek democracy and the wonderful Roman Republic in your face, knowing that we have made sure that your education does not steal you enough to know when we playing in your damn face for the last 30 years. So you will hear that shit, be like, yay, yay. Plus, they've been priming you in these films and cinemas over the same period of time. The movie 300 and all of these movies that be propping up how wonderful the Spartan society was, how extraordinary the Greek society was, how wonderful Roman society was. They've been priming you to literally walk yourself back onto a plantation. And all it takes is a motherfucker who debonair looking as debonair as a white boy can look. He's younger than everybody else playing in your face, so that automatically gets you. You feel me? That's all you've been talking about. So as I've been going back through this Greek and Roman republic, democracy, and all of this shit, I did not know this, but there was this word that they used to describe the expectation of people who were placed in the Senate, right? This is in Rome and in Greece. Those who were placed in the positions of senators, there was an expectation of them, and the expectation was something called parrhesia. Parrhesia. The word parrhesia means candid speech, speaking freely, freedom of speech, and obligation to speak. This obligation was to speak the truth for the common good, even at personal risk. The word literally means to speak everything boldly. However, listen to what I'm telling you. This
freedom of speech that you guys are always talking about. We're entitled to the freedom of speech because that's what the Constitution says.
Because that's what the Constitution says. We're entitled to the freedom of speech. You feel me? And here it says the same thing in Greek democracy and the Roman Republic. Then not only was there freedom of speech, but there was an obligation to speak candidly, speak freely, and an obligation to speak the truth for the greater good, even at personal risk. To speak everything boldly. This was true. But it only applied to those who were considered citizens of these empires. Who was considered citizens of the Greek democracy and the Roman Republic? Wealthy males. That's it. That's all. That's all. That's all. And so, for those who did not qualify as citizens, Parisia was not a right you were entitled to. Sound familiar? Does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar? Parisia was not a right that you were entitled to. It went on to say, it went on to give an example. The beloved Socrates that gets thrown in our face all the time as one of the greatest philosophers of all time, right? We hear about Socrates all the time. You understand? Guess what happened to their beloved Socrates? Socrates, who was just a studious man, he was not rich. Socrates, despite his plethora of contributions, was not rich. And because he was not rich, he could not be represented in the Senate, in this great Grecian democracy of old. He was not represented. He could make contributions. He could make contributions. Sound familiar? But those contributions garnered him no rights. Oh, that's a great idea. We'll take that. Thank you. That's a great idea. We'll take that one too. Thank you. Socrates didn't have no rights neither. The evidence of which this Parisia that was an expectation of wealthy males that were citizens of Grecian and Roman society. He was not entitled, and he got so smart, you feel me? He was so studious that he thought, and because everybody was bigging him up about his great ideas, he was like, "Oh, I got some pull too. I'm smarter than the rest of these people, you feel me? It means I got pull too. I might not be in the Senate, but they respect me. You feel me? They respect me." And he was fooled. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? He was fooled. He believed the hype. He believed that his college degrees entitled him to some space and to some visibility and to some rights and shit. And he found out. Did you know? Because I did not. Did you know that Socrates was killed? He was executed. Did you know that Socrates was executed by his government, by the government that loved him so much, that continues to this day? The hidden Roman Empire that exists to today still props him up as one of the greatest philosophers of all time. Do you know? I did not know that they executed Socrates. Socrates was executed, forced to drink hemlock, forced to drink forced to drink poison right there so that they could watch him die and make sure he was dead. And they said something about categorizing him when he was sentenced, categorizing him as a gadfly. I was like, why would they call him a gadfly? Gadfly literally means one who interferes with the status quo.
Y'all ain't heard. Y'all ain't in the room, man. Y'all ain't in the room. They beloved Socrates that they beat you over the head with incessantly as the greatest philosopher, not only that, quote, ever lived, but that will ever be. They put his ass to death, calling him a gadfly, which they say meant one who interferes with the status quo. That's why Socrates was executed by his beloved Greek democracy and Roman Republic. Not only that, the official criminal charge was called absabia. Absabia was the official charge. He was charged with absabia. Absabia is a criminal charge. Listen, because he talked too much. He was saying some shit they didn't like. And so they charged him with absabia, which was a capital offense punishable by death at absabia. Do you want to know what absabia means? What the charge was? A criminal charge for the desecration and mockery of a divine being or object or an object for reverence towards the state. Listen to me. Oh my God, a criminal charge for the desecration and mockery of divine objects for reverence towards the state's ordained gods and disrespect towards the parents and dead ancestors. Disrespect towards parents and dead ancestors. The word etymologically means ungodliness. Absabia means ungodliness. And this is what the ungodliness, the state ungodliness is. A criminal charge of desecration and mockery of divine objects for reverence towards the state's ordained gods and disrespect towards parents and dead ancestors. Does that sound familiar? I just want to ask the question. Because y'all forever stay looking at everything in the past tense as if the past is not always ever present. Does this sound familiar? Anything that I said to you, does it sound familiar? Absabia. Does this sound familiar? It says a criminal charge that led to his death for the desecration and mockery of divine objects for the reverence towards the state's gods. And I'm always telling you that America is a godhead. America is a godhead. The Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, these are its Bibles. These are this Godhead's sacred words. These sacred words handed directly from God to his sacred chosen divine few that y'all call what? Forefathers. This just said the state's gods and disrespect towards the parents, aka the founding fathers, towards the dead ancestors, also the upholders of the state. That's why there's a George Washington Street. What else? There's all these erected dead racist soldiers all over the place. That's the dead ancestors that they are talking about you desecrating, and they are re-erecting right now. Does this sound familiar? Does this sound currently applicable? What happened to the dude? There was a white guy they was saying he was Antifa not too long ago, and he was arrested, bum rushed in the street for burning an American flag. Does this sound familiar? I want to ask you today, does this sound familiar? The reason I went up on this, both the absabia and the parrhesia, is because parrhesia means candid speech, speaking freely, freedom of speech, an obligation to speak the truth for the common good, even at your own personal risk, to speak everything boldly. I was saying that applied to me. I was going to bring in this other stuff, but I wrote that because I was like, this me. And I'm not going to walk my shit back. That's why I was talking about that last video, and everybody was in they feelings. So much so that I had several people drop their subscriptions and not come back on my shit to this day. That was 2 years ago. More power to them. But I promise you, you have not heard ever 5 years of videos. You have never heard anything come out of my mouth that is even remotely as harmful or diabolical as the shit that the state continues to do to you. You feel me? So if it ain't for you, it just ain't for you. But I want to tell you, y'all will be out here facing off with the state unprepared, trying to win yourself some rights on terms set by the state without knowing and understanding what it is you are up against so that you can plan, plot, and strategize accordingly. You will step out into the world on the make-believe terms that your enemy has set before you and act clueless. When he sweeps you off the street, bum rushes your crib. All these videos coming out now, primarily by white boys, of agents coming to their house about a post they done made on Facebook. Come on, man. But it's because you believe the hype. You will start crying, crocodile tears. But we have freedom of speech. This is America. This is against the Constitution. You guys are breaking the law. And every day they're telling you the law is not for you. The law is the weapon that we use against you. None of this shit that we wrote is for you. Applies to you. And they sitting here telling you in your face. Even your beloved, handsome, debonair, smooth talking, slick talking Gavin Newsom, who we in California always knew was a dog. And I keep telling y'all that. And y'all want to hear that shit. Because he looked like a goddamn Ken doll. He looked like a mature Ken doll. And so y'all don't want to hear how in California, we always knew he was a dog. And so he can tell you in your face several times. People must have sent me 4 or 5 different videos of him saying that exact same thing in different interviews. Why you keep saying that? The great Greek democracy and the wonderful Roman Republic. None of which apply to you. They did not then, they do not today. So while you out here screaming and hollering and shit, they're telling you every day. The reason you are confused here is because these laws, these documents, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, these do not apply to you. They never have applied to you. The only reason that in these particularly last 175 years, you have garnered some benefit from these documents that we have played in your face by adding some amendments is because y'all was steady kicking our ass. Y'all was steady kicking our ass. And so we at least had to create the illusion that America was becoming for everyone what it professed to be that was exclusive to white male aristocratic landholders in the beginning. Because I keep telling y'all, the America that everybody on earth sees, the America that everybody on earth be holding up? We want to go to America. We want to go to America. America is because they believe the hype too. America is the most wonderful place on the planet. America is the greatest country on earth. And so everybody want to come here. And that optical illusion that everybody sees, including those who live here, the optical illusion that everybody keep talking about, America the Great, that gives them the ability to act dumb, deaf, and blind to what is. The illusion was created by the chronic, consistent ass kicking of the state, typically led by Black people in general and Black women who have been disappeared out of history in particular. Tell me I'm wrong. Black people having the gumption, having the throwdown, because we the oldest people on the goddamn planet. That's why we got the gumption and the throwdown, because we the oldest. That's the only reason why. Having the gumption and the throwdown to consistently kick this motherfucker's ass. But our worldview through which we go out and kick ass has always had us, quote, kicking ass for the absolute bare minimum. That's the problem. Because we always had the gumption. We always done had the throwdown. And the throwdown is what created at least the minimal illusion of something that supposedly resembled a democratic process for everyone else. And when that throwdown, when them slave rebellions, when them all the gangster moves that they make sure to erase out of history. That's why I was sending y'all all them damn emails today. Because they have done a really excellent job at erasing your rebellion from history. I'm surprised they still let us have Harriet Tubman. I'll be honest. I'm surprised they still let us have Harriet. Because Harriet was a gangster. I'm surprised they still let us have Harriet. But when I say they have been extra thorough at making sure to erase the evidence of the depths of your rebellion from your history, child. That's why I was bum rushing y'all emails with them damn videos today. Because I was up in here throwed. Not only about the aggressions against these Black people who I sent you in the videos, but even as they was being aggressed upon, they was like, look, I get it. I get who I am up against. I get who I'm up against. I get that I'm the only one out here doing what I'm doing right now. But let me tell over and over again, every single video that I sent you, let me tell you something. Y'all might aggress upon me, but somebody is coming the fuck with me. Somebody coming with me. Every single time. Every single time Black people bossed up in this bitch right here. First of all, every time Black people have bossed up in this bitch, the rest of y'all benefit. Your lives have only been made better by Black people bossing up in this bitch. Only and always. Always. When Black people boss up, the whole people come the fuck up. When Black people stage rebellions, everybody benefits. When Black people stage a contest, even staging a contest for the bare minimum, we just want civil rights. We just want to go to school. We just want access to resources. Even when we boss up on the absolute bare minimum, everybody comes up. Every time, all the time, everywhere on this earth. Name a place. Because they ain't even got to be Black people who are the immediate direct descendants of the continent of Africa. the most abused, the most aggressed upon people in India, the so-called untouchables. It's so exciting reading the history of these people because they too, their rebellious behavior, their rebellion against the state, their rebellion against imperialism, their rebellion against patriarchy in their country has been consistent. And every time they rebel, the country comes up, though their conditions never change. Ain't that about a bitch? Ain't that about a bitch? When they rebel, the society is transformed and they do not benefit. Sound familiar? Not only do they not benefit, but the contribution that has evolved the entire society, that contribution and they themselves are written out of history. Are written out of history. You feel me? Sound familiar? So we're gonna move on. Let's see. I'm hungry. That's why I'm sitting here wolfing down these chocolates. Let's see here. What y'all talking about? Okay, there. I've got to catch up with the comments. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. Thank you for the donation. Baby Zoe 8890. Tasha Lee. Hey. All right. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's go over these other scriptures that y'all sent to me. I hope I ain't scared nobody off. I hope you can hear the mother's love through my rage. Or hear my rage as the evidence of the mother's love. Mm-hmm. All right, what's the next scripture? Ezekiel. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Here we go. Ezekiel 33. Okay. This the one. Okay. I didn't even write down who gave me this. This the one. Ezekiel 33, verses 8 and 9. Let me see if it says something up above it that might be relevant.
Okay, it says verse 8 through 9, but I'm gonna go ahead and start at the beginning of chapter 33. All right. How y'all doing over there on IG? I ain't seen no movement. I ain't seen nothing happening on IG. Y'all still up in the room? Cause IG be playing with my emotions sometimes. Y'all still up in the room? Some emojis, some comments, something. Y'all still in the room? Chantage, you still on IG? You still streaming on IG? Streaming from IG? Greetings, rising sun, book of stars. Okay. I don't even know if people can still see me on live on IG. But anyway, again, the word of the goddess came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon a land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. He heard the sound of the trumpet. And took not warning, and his blood shall be upon him. But he that hath taketh warning shall deliver his soul. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity. But his blood I will require at the watchman's hand. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word of my mouth and warn them for me. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die, if thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way. If thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way, that wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Yep, that's the one. Nevertheless, do y'all understand what I just said? Because I don't have a new international version. I got the old King James Shakespearean version. Y'all following what was just said? Okay. Everybody, I need some feedback of some type. I might need to log off this IG. It don't even seem like nobody up on here. Yeah, I don't think nobody up on here. Okay, cool. I see y'all live and in full effect over here on YouTube. So y'all clear about what somebody say kinda? Okay, Java Watson, kinda. It says so he's talking to Ezekiel, I'm assuming. And he says he's talking about his judgment upon the wicked. Okay? And the wicked that he is talking about, let me just say this. Because everybody be talking about Israel right now and about Israel is God's chosen people, which I find ironic, by the way. Even if y'all believe this shit, I find it ironic that Israel would be God's chosen people. And the reason I say that is because it too is in your face. The presumption that the children of Israel wrote this book, right? Even when they write the book, the entire book, from Genesis to Revelation, the whole book, from Genesis to Revelation, is about God. Man,
is about God perpetually kicking the behind. Hold on, let me send my daughter a text because she can call me twice now. Sorry about that. Let me just send her a text. Man. Sorry about that, you guys. Hold on. Okay. So, okay, cool. So, oh, I was explaining. So it says, when I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die. If you do not speak to warn the wicked man from his way, the wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood I will require at your hand. Now let me go back. Before I was interrupted, I was saying that I find it funny, I find it ironic actually, that y'all are being perpetually beat over the head with this assumption and explanation that everything that this country is doing to human beings, not only in the country that they are currently occupying, but everywhere on earth, they are committing crimes against other human beings. And you are perpetually being gaslit into not saying anything about the crimes that they are committing under the auspice of anti-Semitism, because they are God's chosen people. And thus, and what the quiet part is to be God's chosen people is to mean that whatever we do, we will forever remain blemishless. Therefore, you have no right to condemn or critique our behavior in the things that we do, because we are God's chosen people. But I find it ironic that y'all accept that, first of all. But I've heard so many black people, even now, so-called progressive black people, saying we can condemn what's happening in the Middle East and still be vehemently opposed to anti-Semitism. What? What? Not only that, them same so-called black skinned progressives will equate anti-Semitism with the outright imperial colonial hostility against natives, against black people, against Mexicans. They will equate words that they're not comfortable with about their people to being bum rushed, zip tied, black bagged, and taken to some undisclosed location. They will equate. What? Meanwhile, the reason I say I find it ironic is because the same Bible that they beat you over the skull with as the evidence, because this is the true spoken, divinely divine, what they call it, divinely intervened, divinely inspired word of God, dictated through the hands of some prophets or some shit. When the book itself, from beginning to it, because it's supposed to be the what y'all call it, the book is supposed to be like the family catalog of a singular family and their traverse through history. That's what it's supposed to be. This, according to them, this ain't got nothing to do with y'all. Ain't got nothing to do with white people. Ain't got nothing to do with black people. Ain't got nothing to do with anybody else. And this book, the Bible, is the personal family history of the singular one of God's chosen people. This book that they beat y'all over the skull with, that they guilt y'all and gaslight y'all over the skull with. And even if that were true, that this is the family story, the singular story of God's chosen people throughout history, even according to their own family history, as God's chosen people, that God stayed up in their ass. The whole book. The whole book. The whole book. From beginning to end. The God that loved them so much that made them his singular chosen people. Did anybody do a search for the etymology of Gentile for me? That the singular line of, quote, chosen people and stuff, you feel me? From beginning to end, in a walk through 6,000, this book is a walk through 6,000 years of so-called Hebrew descended history. The story of the Hebrews for 6,000 years. That's what this book is supposed to be. Because Jesus was a Hebrew, if you have them tell it. Jesus was a Hebrew. So even the New Testament is still talking about Hebrews. 6,000 years of so-called Hebrew history in this book right here. And based on what they say in their book, from their experience in the world, that they God who assigned them as the only ones and assigned himself as the one true God, why he stay kicking your ass? Why he stay kicking y'all ass? Yes, he had y'all out in the world doing some diabolical shit to other people, but why he stay, even y'all out in the world doing diabolical, why he stay kicking y'all ass? Make that make sense to me. Make that make sense to me. Because this same God that they done superimposed in this book, Yahweh, stayed with his foot up their rectum. The whole book. The whole book. The whole book. Have them tell it based on this mythology that they stole. You feel me? Have them tell it. The poor, victimized Hebrews that were held captive in Egypt. Have them tell it. It just happened from up under a rock. But according to the scripture, which is false. I want to reiterate that, okay? According to the scripture, they was trapped up in Egypt because as punishment for some bullshit and ass bullshit that they did, and this was their punishment. That you got to be enslaved by some Negroes because y'all stay with that bullshit. Y'all don't listen. And so I got to punish y'all. I know I'm being funny, but I'm being deadly serious. This they book, just they shit. I ain't saying nothing contrary to what they wrote in their own words in their own book. That every time you turn around, their God that held them as the chosen few among the many of his creations, right? That they God who they are so devoted to and love so much. From Adam and Eve all the way on, was constantly handing them their ass. Not only handing them their ass, he's It was like he had a particular affinity for punishing the most devout of his followers. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Because he gave Job hell. And he said that Job was the best among men. He gave Job hell. Gave the man leprosy, blinded his ass, killed all his wives, killed all his children, killed all his livestock, decimated his crops. Isn't that something? I'm just curious. And so here we are today, the so-called Gentiles of the world, so-called heathens of the world, watching as God's chosen few literally goes, because we can see the obvious thing, which is this conflict in Palestine. But we can watch them go to and fro. And everywhere they post up, they leave a trail of brigandage. South Africa. Oh, yes. Sierra Leone. Absolutely. The Congo. 150%. Sudan. Right now to this day. What's the other place? Uganda. Absolutely motherfucking right. Yup. The United States of America. They fingerprint all over everything terrible that's ever happened. At least as a participant. We just learned last week about one of them who strategically, over 2 decades, swindled using legal language, everybody thought he was legit. And he literally gobbled up, stole outright, was just found guilty of it, stole more than 300 homes from Black people in New York. Stole 300 homes, was convicted on 13 because there wasn't enough evidence for the other few hundred. And then I send y'all a video today about this event. Oh. I see you guys' etymologies of Gentile, and I'm having a whole moment. Man. So Nina says the Hebrew word Gentiles can also, let's see. Okay, here we go. Gentiles, any person who is not a Jew or an Israelite. The term originally comes from the Latin word gentilis and the Hebrew word goy, which means nation or nations. The Hebrew word for Gentiles can also mean nations. The Bible often describes those as hostile towards Israel's Gentiles. But the thing is who creates the hostility? Who creates the hostility? So you engage in behavior that's anti-human, anti-life, hostile to life and thriving, ensuring the outcome, which is that, quote, in the New Testament, the nations will rise up against God's chosen people. And this is why we all gonna have to be on Israel's side. Because it say that in the Bible, that in the end, all the nations of the world will turn against Israel. And this will be a sign of the end of days. Isn't that what the Bible says? So doesn't it make sense that to exploit the ignorance of the scores of millions of human beings on earth who believe the rhetoric that you have force-fed to them, that you have to create the conditions that ensure the outcome that is to ensure that the world rises up and turns against Israel, to give Israel, what do they call it? Predictive programming. What do they call it? Manifest destiny. What do they call it? There's something else they call it, where you create the conditions that guarantee the outcome that in turn give you the excuse to lay waste to everything. You are both the victim and the villain. And we're watching this shit play out in real time. Power Kismet says, I was just talking about Job. That was just a blackjack deal with Satan. What's one devotee between balsam deities? The word Gentile comes from the Latin word gentilis, meaning of the same family or nation, which was used in the Vulgate Bible to translate the Hebrew word goy to nations of the same clan, or family of or belonging to a Roman genes, from genes, genitive, gentis, race, clan, or give birth or beget. Behind in the stream. Okay, honey dip chocolate. I'll send those emails to you. After we get off the call, I'll forward them to you. Epigenetic manipulation. Etymology of host is also victim, as in victim of a sacrifice, or in this case, a parasite. Oh. Can you, Power Kismet, make sure to email me that. Oh, this is going to send me down a wormhole. Oh. I'm just saying, y'all. Now, let me clarify some things. Because I'm sitting here telling you that this book, why is it that this book right here, that supposedly came from they folks, the one true chosen people on the whole of the planet, God didn't have no favorites other than this select teeny tiny few. Okay. All right, cool. Let's take their word for that. They gonna tell the world. They gonna share their story of the world, of their history with the world, because they are the only ones that have the ability. They are the only ones that have the ability that can save us all with this divinely pent word from they one God that says they the only true chosen people of God on earth. Okay, let's accept that. Then why is all right? Can y'all, am I back? Can y'all see me? Okay, good. I'm just saying, I want y'all to walk with me, because the presumption has been, as we all, in one way or another, have been exposed to this tradition, whether it be Judaism, Christianity, or any variant of the above, Islam, whatever. And we've all seen the entire book as a compilation of stories told by men about men throughout the history of the last 6,000 years, okay? But we learned in the book, by Mama Zobe, the Sibyls, and the first prophetesses of Mami Wata in the theft of African prophecy by the Roman Catholic Church, we learned that not only is the Christian Bible, KJV, and any variant of it, the Ethiopian Bible and any variant of it, the Torah, the Quran, that all of them, boy, cut it out. That all of them were the result of the theft of the Sibylline books, not to be confused with the Sibylline oracles, with the Sibylline books that had been collected by Rome, by Greece, and by Rome for over 3,000 years of Sibylline history. The Sibylline books, once they decided they didn't need the women no more to divine for them, that they was going to knock them all off. They were going to knock them all off because they had enough collected works from them to now put themselves forward as the divine prophets of whoever the face of God was for them. And since they didn't have a leg to stand on because they cannot divine, they are not prophets. It's like, look, we got this whole big ass compilation of works spanning 3,000 years. Spanning 3,000 years, we could just use that. Scratch some letters off, erase some shit, you feel me? Change the name. Do the same thing we doing. Change the she to he. So what I'm saying is, the way they tell the story, you feel me, is that this is a book full of he's, okay? This is a book full of he's, 6,000 years of he's, you feel me? Based on their relationship to a he god, you feel me? And in this story that they tell from their perspective, through their lens and in their worldview, even though they are, quote, God's chosen people, that the God of their imagination, Yahweh or whomever, you feel me, the God of their imagination, the way they tell the story is always from the beginning of the book to the end of the book is always kicking their ass. Always kicking their ass. Always kicking their ass. So what does this mean? That the God that even they are talking about in this book, trying to hide the face of this God in this book as some jealous God who is, sitting up on high with a white beard and some white flowing hair with a white robe on and a white staff in a white heaven on a gold throne. They're sitting on top of robes made of gold in the land of milk and honey. Feel me? This they God that they talking about, that they love and adore so much. But they stay fucking up, and so they God stay fucking them up. Why they gotta do that? Why they gotta do that? Why they have such a fickle relationship with the God of their imagination for 6,000 years of this book? Why they got that? Why they do that? Because the God that they talking about that has stayed kicking their ass up in this book, even though they try to butch the God up, even though they try to make the God scary and tyrannical, that God that stay kicking their ass all the time is a she God. That's the only way you can explain it. Because they go and do some dumb shit, violently dumb shit, messed up dumb shit, out of control dumb shit, genocidal dumb shit. And the God of this Bible that they trying to hide in your face, this tyrannical he God, you feel me, is a she God knocking them upside the head, putting her foot on somebody's backside. I keep telling y'all, stop doing people like that. Why y'all keep going to and fro to people's shit? They invite you in with open arms. You decimate the place. and then want to act like the victim, want to act like somehow something they did something bad to you after they done let you come and post your whole kingdom up on they shit. You a bunch of nomads posting up to and fro, getting close to the people, being friendly with the people, whole time plotting and scheming on how you gonna get the drop on them. Sound familiar? Does it sound familiar? That's all I'm saying. I'm just talking about the way they wrote the book based on their perspective and their worldview. That's all I'm talking about. Not talking about my personal opinion. I'm talking about it just seemed to me, because even in the New Testament, even in the Revelations, because the Revelations say that, what does the Revelation say? That the nation of Israel, what is it? Is as this is. Wait a minute, I don't want to misquote. Is of the synagogue of Satan. Isn't that what the New Testament say about God chosen people? Now this day book. This ain't my book. This day book. It say ye are the synagogue of Satan. When he's talking about Israel. Why he say that? Why he say that about his chosen people? Why he say that? And we just drunk it down, hook, line, and sinker. Yeah, that makes sense. That the Hebrews, you feel me? They turned against Jesus. They didn't believe Jesus was the Messiah, you feel me? And so they participated in Jesus dying on the cross, you feel me? And so they was gonna have to be punished, you feel me? So until Jesus come back and then they become true believers. You understand? And it seemed to me like they had a peculiarly fickle relationship with their own God. And it might have been just the fact that they God had an attitude that they tried to superimpose a sex change on her. It might be something just as simple as that. Like, you malignant, why y'all keep calling me he? Why y'all keep misgendering me? Why y'all keep misgendering me? What's up with that? I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of trans folks out here. And rightfully so. They be ready to box a bitch if they get misgendered. They be ready to box a bitch if they get misgendered. You feel me? I'm gonna tell y'all something about that. You know what? I'll save it for another day. And so, it just seemed to me from outside looking in, reading this book here with fresh eyes, always seeing the presence of the mother up in it. I could see why she would have an attitude all the time. I could see why. She stayed, man, it's trash. Everybody keeps saying the live keeps freezing. I don't know what to do about that. It may mean that I just need to get up off here. That might be what it means. Okay, some people say it is playing fine. Well, let me go ahead and finish reading these last two scriptures y'all gave me, and then I think I might just end it there. I might do another one a little later, but let me go ahead and read these last two scriptures. But I just wanted to put that out there. Because this mess that's happening in the world, we got to be doing, because again, we will never come to the right conclusion
about how to end our suffering if we accept that our suffering, um, our suffering, uh, that our suffering is what our enemy says it is. That our conditions are what our enemy says it is. And so I'm going to tell you something that's going to be really uncomfortable, but I have to put it out to say that I did it. America, as you know it, America, as you have lived it, America, as you have experienced it, whether as an immigrant, whether as one who was born and raised here, whether you are one who was born and raised here, whether you are native to the land, or whether you were kidnapped and dragged to the land, or whether you came here willingly, the America that you know, the America that you have accepted, the America that you have been force-fed, the America that you have been gaslit into loving and adoring and shedding blood for is not real. It is not real. You identify calling yourself an American, you treating the institutions of America, the SCOTUS, the POTUS, the White House, and the Senate. And what did I tell y'all yesterday, day before yesterday? The etymology for the word Senate means? It means Council of Elders, aka old men. That's what it means. That's not my opinion. That's what it say word for word when you search the etymology of the word Senate. And that's in the Senate, like in ancient Greece, like in ancient Greek democracy, like in ancient Roman, the Roman Republic, that this white boy, Gavin Newsom, has been playing in your face with for the last week. The great America, like the great Greek democracy and the wonderful Roman Republic, literally playing in your face. Criminal that he is. That America is an institution. Some people say America is a corporation. Tomato, tomato. America was given birth to in the process of establishing an extension of an already malignant and globally dominating godhead of war. That's what it is. It's a satellite of its father. That's what it is. And I am going to put this out. I am going to put this out once. America, when we were talking about what is it, Al Gore and decapitation and the open air enemies of America because of this Uranus retrograde in Taurus, this and that and this and that. You have to begin to internalize for yourself what America has been trying to tell you since day one. You have to accept with your whole chest, with your whole confidence, you have to begin to accept what America has been trying to tell you since day one. And what has America been trying to tell you since day one? You are not us. You are not us. You do not matter. The only way that you matter within the empire known as the United States of America is your ability to produce as much as you can, with as much effort as you can, with
the bare minimum in compensation to keep you just alive enough to continue to produce. That's it. That's all. So remember, maybe 2 years ago, I was asking the question, and I was mad about it the other day because whatever. And I posed the question, who would we be without our labels? Who would we be without our labels? Who are you willing to become to change the world? If you say you want to live in a world made well, if you want to live in a world where freedom is a guaranteed reality of every incarnate on earth, that freedom and bounty and beauty and peace and sovereignty is a guarantee of every incarnate on earth, does your labels, the labels right now that you accept about who you are in the world as it is, do your labels align with the world that you say you want to see made real? Your label as American, does it align with the world that you want to see made real? Your label as a revolutionary, does it align with the world that you say you want to see made real? Let me ask it a different way. If we lived right now in a world that we participated in making well, a whole healed earth, right? If that earth existed right in this moment, would there be a need for you to be a revolutionary? If that world was real right in this moment, would you be an American? If that world existed right now, would there be nations? Would there be nation states? Let me say that. Would there be nation states where a bunch of old men, according to the definition of Senate, where a bunch of old men ruled the entire globe? And they arbitrarily draw and chisel borders based on their own peculiar economic interests and nothing else. Every border that exists, drawn in the last 400 years, 500 years, 1,000 years, is an artificially imposed border to do two things at the same time: to destroy, just like you're doing gentrification right now, to destroy family lines and clan relationships, and to facilitate the easier exploitation of those now fractured clans, families, lines, and nations and peoples. Every border that exists on earth exists for that reason, and you can trace it all the way back to the establishment of those borders. Let me ask you this. In the history of matriarchal societies, do we hear in the what they say is about 25,000 years of successful matriarchal societies, have you heard anybody talk about hardcore established lines of nation states? The America that you have experienced since day one, since its emergence, its bloodbath emergence in the world, the America that you have all experienced, not what you believe with your brain, even though it does not match your lived experience in the material world, not what you believe in your brain about what you think America is ideologically, make believe ass America up in your head. Your lived experience in your relationship with the institution known as America, does it contradict this world that you say you want to make real? Or is it in alignment with the world you say you want to make real? You want to see made real? And if you cannot answer the question affirmatively, you know what I'm saying? Well, ideally, this is what America is about. We ain't talking about idealism. We ain't talking about idealism. We ain't talking about idealism. We're talking about your real world material experience from the establishment of this institution known as the United States of America. From the beginning to this day, has it ever lined up with the professed ideas that it has imposed on its slaves and servants? That's all I'm asking. Because anybody, they do it right now in your face. Anybody can make a great ass speech. Anybody can make a great ass speech. Anybody can make a great ass speech and then turn right around and do the exact opposite of what they say they believe in that speech. And you still act confused. As if this is not the modus operandi of this institution known as the United States of America. It's the modus operandi. United States of America as you know what I'm saying? As the two-faced. What did the natives used to say about about the conquistadors coming over here, about pilgrims and all, fake and sweet, fake and nice? They called them the split tongues because they ain't never seen nothing like it. Why they talk with two tongues? They'll say one thing, they'll act one way when they right in our face, and then go and do exactly the other thing. And the other thing is always diabolical and wicked. Like, who do that? Who do that? The natives, all these natives, all talking about their first encounters with the white people from across the water. It was like, man, these are the weirdest motherfuckers we ever met. Like, who do that? They just said this, why they say this, and do the exact opposite. This is modus operandi. And y'all, to this day, still act confused. When I just saw a video last night, somebody did like a video compilation of your beloved Kamala Harris. And the video compilation was exactly what I'm talking about. She is from crowd to crowd. What is happening in Palestine is a crime against humanity, and we are opposed, and do. And the very next video, in a whole different meeting, I will forever stand with Israel. I will not back down from my unflinchable support of Israel. And I will make sure that once I become president of the United States, that Israel will continue to get everything it needs to defend itself. That's your beloved Kamala. The split-tongued, the two-faced, that y'all still heralding, talking about we voted right. We voted right. The outcome would have been exactly the same. That's the state, baby. It's not her as an individual. That's the state. As a matter of fact, that same video says something to the effect of, I forget who it was. It was one of these big giant tech companies that donated heavily to both campaigns. And in this quote, when he was being interviewed, there was an article that quoted him where he said, I guess the interviewer asked him, like, are you concerned, about the outcome of the election? He was like, no, I'm not concerned about the outcome of the election. We have invested heavily in both candidates. We're clear that our objectives will be met no matter what. Stop acting. What I was saying is, stop acting like individuals who voluntarily, whether they have genuinely good intentions or not, voluntarily walk up into a relationship with the state, whether they have good intentions or not, child, that once they become embroiled once their relationship with the state is consecrated, they become the state. They become the state. And what that means is no matter how big their heart is, no matter how good their intentions are, no matter what they promise on the campaign trail, once their relationship with the state is consecrated, they will be used, whether willingly or against their will, as an agent and representative of the state. There is no time in history that you can point to where that was not the case. And I will also add this caveat that if they are able nominally to implement this good idea, implement this campaign promise, implement this seemingly radically progressive, it happened within the context of the state that is always trying to preserve itself. That being the case, recognizing that if the state is always trying to preserve itself, they may get to a point in their unpopularity where they need to pull a switch in bait and then allow this radical candidate to do this radical thing to quell the rage of the population. Do you hear what I'm telling you? I hope you hear what I am saying to you. They may very well, like Mondani, seemed like a stand-up dude, seemed like a right-on dude. The day that he is sworn into office, whether he is willing or unwilling, the day that he was sworn in, he became an agent of the state. I'm not saying that he doesn't believe the campaign that he ran on. I am also not saying that he is not going to attempt to fight like hell to implement the campaign promises that he made. What I am saying is that boy is an agent of the state, and the state's only objective is to preserve itself. I will also say that even though all these people acted so surprised that he won, it's fake surprise, baby. The world is a play. The world is a play. It's fake surprise. It's fake outrage. I'm trying to tell you something. It's fake outrage. It's fake. All of the Republican pundits the very next day faking their little fake fist fight, talking about a civil war within the Republican Party because Mondani won. It's a play, baby. They playing in your face. They just shocked and awed you to death over the last 9 months. They have just literally stimulated the guaranteed outcome they were looking for to pull another switch and bait on your ass. I'm trying to give you a word and mark my words. Mark my words. I've been watching videos of mine all day for as far back as the last 4 years. Some of the shit I watched on my videos today, I'm like, I need to be charging more because this bitch right here, y'all would think she got a crystal ball up in here. I'm sitting here watching some of the videos that I have done live for you. Like one was I posted it on my post today. It was I said the witch trials are coming. That was the name of it. The witch trials are coming. I posted that video 3 years ago. 3 years ago, while Biden was in office, I walked it was only an hour and a half, which y'all know I don't even do lives that short no more. It was only an hour and a half. The name of it was the witch trial. As a matter of fact, that video lost me several followers too. And they let me know about why they was upset about the video. You're fear-mongering. You're fear-mongering. I'm like, why I got a fearmonger? You just live in a world where they just rolled Roe versus Wade back. They just They just and started prosecuting women, right? Why I gotta be a fearmonger? I'm just telling you, I know how to analyze what I see with my two eyes. This ain't no cryptic, oh, I see in the future. You ain't gotta have that. You ain't gotta have that. You ain't gotta have that. I said it in that video 3 years ago. And then you just had this boy Nick Fuentes. You just had a Negro preacher today responding to the little social experiment with a girl calling all the churches to see if somebody would buy her a single can of baby formula because her baby didn't, and honey, all these preachers all over the country are scrambling, trying to save face because she done caught 45 churches now. They scrambling now. And this Negro got in front of his massive congregation saying that this woman lying about having a starving baby, trying to trick people into giving her money. That's what he said. He said she is possessed with a witch spirit. She is possessed with a witch spirit. And you know what our good book say about what to do with witches. Suffer no witch to live. That's what he said today. That's what he said today when his particular church got found out. A Negro. When his particular church got found out. I said this 3 years ago. I said it's coming. A day after Mondani got elected. What was the headline? Republican Party has declared war on women. That's what it said. Why? Because 81% of female registered voters in New York voted for Mondani. And the next day, a headline in several newspapers said the Republican Party has declared war on women. But I'm rage baiting. I'm fear mongering. I'm trying to put you on game, and I'm trying to tell you about your Mondani. He seems like a stand-up dude. He does. He really, really does. And I don't say that often about any politician. He seemed like an upright citizen. He is an upright citizen that has walked into the mouth of a monster. That's what he is. He is an upright citizen who has literally let both feet first into a monster. And they let him. Yeah, y'all might have went out and voted for him. But he is the mayor of New York because billionaires needed him to be mayor of New York. Listen, peeping the environment, peeping the hundreds of thousands of people who have been demonstrating in the streets of New York, peeping everything, creating the conditions, just like I said they did here in the Bible. You create the conditions that stimulate the outrage, that give you the energy that you need. Didn't Lenin say it 150 years ago? They can't wait till rebellion breaks out because it gives them another shockwave of energy to tap into, exploit, and leave you with nothing after you done got your angst on. Y'all have this science, baby. This science. This is long-term chess. And so y'all get all excited because y'all really think y'all did something. Y'all really think, after all I've been teaching y'all really think y'all went out there and put Mondani in office. And even if you do believe that the vote, aka the vow, what did I say the vote mean? Vow. What it is? What's the etymology of the word vote? Hold on. A vow. What did it say? Here it is. The vote is a vow, a promise, a wish, in a pact of devotion to a deity or God, a solemn pledge, a dedication, a tribute to a God. That's what it means. Vote. You cool. You believe the hype? Cool. You went ahead. You went out and voted. Good for you. I told you I still vote locally. I just do not vote in presidential elections. But I go with a clear conscience. I go vote in local elections because I know what I'm participating in. I'm clear. But with the chaos, with the shock and awe campaign that your president promised you the night that he was elected, he promised it for 2 months. His head of CIA, his Everybody. Shock and awe. It's going to be a shock and awe campaign unlike you've ever seen. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until the day that he was inaugurated. That's what they kept saying. So they gave you what they promised, which was an unending barrage of assaults on your consciousness, on your spirit, on your heart, to attempt to wipe you out in every possible way emotionally, to literally wage a campaign on your very eyes, to attempt to immobilize and debilitate you to the extent that they, right here at the end of the year, in this particular month, where they appear to give you a little bit of hope and relief in the election of the great brown-skinned hoe, the mayor of New York. Like a playbook. After punching, dragging, knocking, disappearing, just barrage. Literally every single solitary day. Every single solitary day since we walked up into the new year. It's been unending barrage of assaults in every possible way on every square inch of the planet with a relationship directly to it. Barrage. Take your food from you. Take your health care from you. And then right towards the end, when they feel like you about to make a break, they pop the lid on that pressure cooker to let out just enough steam that it don't explode. Give you just a little bit of an outlet to let off some steam. Give you the sense of like this look like it's about to turn around. Give you a little bit of confidence in your vote. And I'm not telling you not to vote in local elections. That's not what I'm telling you. I vote in local elections. I have never and will never vote in a presidential election, and my heels are dug in on that. I do vote in local elections. That's not what I'm telling you. I'm telling you that you have to understand what the state is. It will always inform you of how you have a responsibility to move within it until it no longer exists. Do you understand? These videos that I sent y'all today, I was like, they don't know the state, man. That's the problem. They don't know the state. And these videos that I watched, man, these videos that I watched. For example, I'm telling you how they will do you and do you and do you and do you and do you. Recognize where you get right to the brink. They peep you, baby. They know everything about you. They peep you. They recognize when you get right on the brink. Then they throw a wild card in the mix to give you the opportunity to let off some steam, to feel just a hair of relief, not to fully relax, just to get enough relief that your rage does not turn against them. Just enough relief to get you reinvested in the democratic process. See, it do work sometimes. So when you right on the brink of saying, you know what, this is that bullshit. This that bullshit and that's bullshit. This shit don't work. Understand what I'm saying? This bullshit don't work. Look at this mess right here. And just when you right on, it's what they did with your Obama. They did the exact same thing, play by play. And then you get hyped up. We did that. We put that Negro in off. We did that. As he becomes the predecessor to a whole nother 8 years, 12 years, 16 years of brigandage. He participated enthusiastically
His arm was not twisted. He participated enthusiastically. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. But you refuse to see. You refuse to see because you do not know the state. You do not know where you live. You have no comprehension about what this institution actually is. Actually is. You don't. There's no way that you can and be in your feelings when someone attempts to tell you from a place of love, baby. You have to see. You have to see. The state is desperate, and every time it gets desperate, it relies on the class. It relies on black and brown, colored, poor people to do its bidding. And y'all still act confused while every time you turn around, you seeing some video of some big old fat Mexican or some big old slovenly sloppy Negro or some negress or some colored person manipulated through imposed poverty to be an aggressor against children, against old people, against the disabled, bum rushing a house, masked like the goddamn mafia, dragging people out of their homes and disappearing them into the night. And you act confused because you don't know the state. I'm watching all these videos, people filming ICE agents doing all kind of terrible stuff to people and think they bad, think they hard because they tell them, why you betraying your own? You a sellout. You a Uncle Tom. Why you betraying on? So they got their phone in one hand, so they make sure that everybody hear him cussing out the Negro ICE agent or the Mexican ICE agent or the Chinese ICE agent. Why you doing this to your own people? You ain't nothing but a sellout. That shit is not hard. First of all, that shit ain't hard. While you watching a 300-pound man who's so fat, his freaking beer belly is hanging from up under his uniform with his knee on the neck of an old woman. Why you doing this to your own people? You ain't nothing but a sellout. That's not hard. That's not hard. You ain't the one, boo. You ain't the one. You ain't did nothing progressive in that moment. As a matter of fact, you done showed your shit. You done played your hand. You done played your hand. Put y'all goddamn phones down. Put y'all goddamn phones down. And come up to some other conclusions about how you can intervene on behalf of your fellow citizen. What she say over here in this first thing that we read? Over here. What she say? What she say? She said something in Jeremiah. We read that Jeremiah 16. What she say? Right here. Yeah. What she say? I will cease because I will cause to cease out of this place in your eyes and in your days the voice of mirth, the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the bride. And it shall come to pass. Stop showing your hand. Because when y'all do this, men especially, all these men recording as the weak get pounced on, and because you done cussed at a pig, you think you hard. You think you done did something. You done showed the world who you are. You done gave audacity to the cowards. Because ICE agents are cowards. You see it over and over and over. But what you do when you put yourself on the video, cussing out somebody while they pouncing on somebody's head, pouncing on some woman, dragging some baby out of a car while a man is having a seizure, and all y'all do is cussing. All y'all doing is cussing. You didn't show your hand. That's why their violence has upped. You think their violence, their audacity has upped. You have upped the ante because in all these videos where y'all ain't did shit but cuss and try to shame them out of their behavior, try to shame them out of doing what they doing.
What? All you trying to do is shame them. That if you just say the right word, if you call him a punk bitch, that he will be ashamed and stop doing what he doing. And because you keep posting these videos, their audacity is growing. They are cowards because the few who do bust back, the few who do actually intervene, I guarantee you this, they ain't gone back into Jamaica, Queens. I guarantee it. Not with, or wherever it was, where all them Haitians descended upon them like a lead bomb. I bet you money they ain't been back over there. I bet you money they have not been back over there. But everybody else, making sure that the world see you on your video talking about you ain't shit, this, and this, and this. They're like, oh, okay, they really ain't gonna do shit. We can do what we need. We can up the ante. We can turn up the flames on this bitch. Because they ain't about shit. They ain't gonna do shit. They ain't gonna do shit. I'm willing to bet money. I need to look that up. I'm willing to bet money. The motherfuckers ain't been back over there in Haitian town, wherever Haitian town is in New York, where them hundreds of Haitians descended upon their ass like a lead bomb. I bet you they ain't been back. I bet you they ain't been back. Stop doing that. As a matter of fact, leave your phones at home. Leave your phones I do it regularly. People always act surprised when I say that, because every now and again I will have to ask somebody what time it is, and people will look at me puzzled, like, bitch, don't you have a phone? I'm like, I know, I left my phone at home. They were like, for real? I do it on purpose. I leave my phone at home sometimes. On purpose? Yes, on purpose. If I know I'm only going to be gone for an hour, maybe 2 hours, sometimes I will leave my phone at home. Leave your phone at home. Stop showing the world every single move you're making, every single word you're speaking, every single thing you doing. Especially, I just want to make this clear, and then that's the last thing I'm gonna say. Especially if you're doing something dynamic. If you're doing something dynamic, if you're doing something real awesome, if you're doing something real revolutionary, and I'm talking about revolutionary like innovative, revolutionary like inventive, revolutionary like, oh my God, this could be the thing that changes the whole game, changes the whole world. Please keep that shit to yourself. Please, please, please keep that shit to yourself. I get it. We really be needing to be affirmed by others. We really do be needing like recognition for our genius. I understand better than most. But in this particular period in human history, in this most violent country on earth, fuck what you heard. Fuck what you heard. The only thing different in America than any place else is that the violence is covert. It is just as, if not more violent than any other country on earth. I promise you. They have just gotten much better at hiding the violence because they have a population up in this bitch that has perpetually been giving them hell. We here, black-skinned people, dark-skinned people, and other folks with us, stay giving this motherfucker hell. Stay giving this motherfucker hell. We gon' challenge the state. Even if we ain't got the consciousness to understand that's what we doing, we gonna challenge the state. It's the only thing that has forced their hand about creating an illusion of equality, giving just enough leeway to pacify us for a little while they regroup. That's all they've consistently done, is pacify us for a little while they regroup and re-strategize and come from a different, that's perpetually. That's all they've done. That's all they've done. That's all they've done. Because we keep busting back. We keep fighting the system. We keep busting back. And so they're like, look, it's all right. They ain't got no staying power. Give them a little 5 years. Give them a little 10 years. Feeling like they somebody. Feeling like they did that. Feeling like while we come back to the drawing board and just come from a different angle. That's all. And I'm guaranteeing you, whether he know it or not, and I'm 90% sure he don't know it, that's who Madani is in this moment. That is what his purpose is in this moment, that is why they allowed him to become the mayor of New York in this moment, is because shit is deep. The conditions that they created guaranteed the outcome that they needed. The outcome that they needed was for us, in our rage and in our anger, to allow them to steal even more money. Because just from May to August, 61 more billionaires popped up out the billionaires. 61 more billionaires popped up out the goddamn concrete like daisies from May to August. So while you out here, 7 million people in the street with some signs talking about no King's Day, it's like, that's all right. Y'all stay out there as long as you need, while we keep grabbing up this money, while we keep gobbling up your resources, gobbling up your pensions. Do you think that the reason your ass ain't got food stamps is because they ain't got no money, or because they didn't shut down the government, while they all still making their bare minimum $174,000 on lockdown? It's like, these motherfuckers don't deserve shit. And if there's money in there to give food stamps, that means there's money in there for us to access. That's our shit. That them food stamps, that Medicaid money, them food stamps, that's our shit. So let's create a catastrophe, a false flag operation. Your ass been beat the fuck over the head with perpetual false flag operations right here in the United States of America. While every single thing that you have created, they gobble up in real time. So I'm telling you, don't fall for the okie doke. I did a whole live, Janet Kennedy. What's today? Today's Tuesday. I think it was like last Thursday. I think it was last Thursday or last Tuesday, something like that. Like, tried 3 videos ago. I did a whole breakdown of who funded No King's Day. Sure did. Because I was like, what's No King's Day? I was like, why they do that? Why do you think they did that? Because I just talked to y'all 2 days ago about the astrology of No King's Day. And y'all really do not believe that every motherfuckers are playing in y'all face. Why are they calling No King's Day? Because Trump is a king. Hear people arguing back and forth. Trump is not a king. He's a president. Trump is a king. Trump is a king. And they knew that y'all would get caught up on some bullshitting back and forth about, y'all sound ignorant. Trump is not a king. They knew y'all would get caught up on that. Because y'all don't study astrology. Y'all don't study political science. You believe civics is real. Trump is a king. What do I mean by that? Trump's ascendant in his birth chart. Trump's ascendant is Leo. Trump's ascendant is Leo. Your ascendant is determined the day you were born, the moment that the top of your head breaks through your mama's body. Your ascendant is determined by your whole birth chart, the day you were born. So your ascendant is in your first house. Just like Aries is. When you look at a chart, Aries is always in the first house. But you are your own personal universe. And so the day you are born, if it's in the first house that you usually attribute to Aries, the day and the month that you are born is going to determine who rules your destiny. That's why a lot of astrologers say your ascendant is more important than your sun. His ascendant is Leo the lion. His sun, which is opposing his ascendant, his sun is Gemini. His sun is Gemini. And so that don't make no sense to y'all. It's just the stars and some ooga booga. Okay, he is a king. His ascendant is Leo the lion. Not only that, his name, Donald, means world ruler or world dominator. That's what his birth name, Donald, means. The name Trump means triumph or victory. That's what Trump means. John, his middle name, means God has given. So God has given victory to the world ruler. That's what his name means. That's what his name means. Who is the God that I've been talking to y'all about this whole time? America is the God. America is the Godhead. America is the Godhead. His name means God has given victory to the world dominator or the world ruler. That's what his name means. As he has an ascendant, his ascendant is Leo, and his sun is Gemini. In this year, astrologically, that there have been so many hugely astrological and astronomical occurrences that not astronomers nor astrologers can even calculate on they extra complicated computation devices. They cannot even calculate the last time a year of this magnitude has ever happened. Two of those 5 events that has happened in this last year, 2 of those 5 events, they can't calculate the last time they happened the way that they happened this year. And the last time they happened was 12,000 years ago. But y'all don't believe in astrology. And not only do y'all not believe in astrology, y'all will let the people who not only believe in astrology, but use astrology as the scientific, mathematically precise device that it is to impact on your life. And that's what they did this year with a shock and awe campaign as Uranus goes into Gemini for the first time since 1952. And your president, Uranus, is in Gemini on his chart as he is a Gemini, as he is a Gemini sun. As he is the only president in the history of this country who has been a convicted felon. That's a first. As if he is not the only president in the history of this country to serve 2 terms that were not consecutive. Why? Because they didn't need him to run them terms consecutive, because they believe in numerology, even though your ass don't. That his first term, numerologically, reduced to the number 9/11. His second term reduces to 9/11. And y'all think it's just a whole host of coinky dinks. Okay. Y'all can have it. Y'all got it. And they're going to keep handing you your motherfucking ass. They're going to keep handing you your ass. That's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do. And I'm telling you that if you just see, that's all you have to do is see. Because they're clamoring. I'm going to tell you, the open air enemy to the United States, when they were talking about in this astrology, with Uranus stationing retrograde in Taurus until March 26th, I think it was, that the biggest problem is going to be threat by open air enemy to the United States and the decapitation. And then the sister say the all gold, the star that represents decapitation is directly related to the story of Medusa. And then I was just telling y'all 2 weeks ago that I was doing all these searches about the statue that this woman had built, and she came under huge fire because she sculpted this whole statue. I think she erected it in New York. This was some years ago, around the Me Too movement. And and it was called Medusa's Revenge. And it was a statue, a full-on statue of Medusa, fully nude, holding Perseus's head in her hands after she done slayed him. So, who is the open air enemy? Who is the open air enemy of the United States of America? And they telling you everything but what it is. They saying everything but what it is. Who is the open air enemy of the United States of America? I'll let y'all ponder that one. And if that is the case, you understand, and I'll go in his proximity to Uranus, aka Prometheus, aka the light bearer, aka the light of the light of ingenuity, the light of inspiration. That's Prometheus. The light of inspiration, the light of innovativeness, in his relationship to the golden bull of heaven, aka Venus, threatening and attacked by the open air enemy of the United States. I'm just saying, we got to start seeing this shit different. We got to start seeing this shit from a perspective that benefits us at somebody else's expense for a change. Retelling the story from a perspective and a worldview of the guaranteed victors of the future. That's us. Hey, if you read the shit the way I do, if you analyze the shit the way that I do, victory is a guarantee. Victory is a guarantee. And so if it doesn't happen, it means a failure on our part. Victory, by the way by what is being communicated by our heavenly siblings, because we are not a bunch just scattered about. We are one. We are a singular. Earth is a singular entity in a very directly intimate relationship with her heavenly siblings. Earth is a part of the web that we call our solar system. And they are telling us a story of their intention and how they want to show up for us in this most important period in human history. This little span of time between now, that started in February of 2022, from February 2022 until the year 2024. 2044. They saying, look, y'all ain't got but a little bit of time. This year that y'all in right now is the most strategic year to get your footing. So you gonna move in the world based on the terms that your enemy set, or are you gonna set all new terms? Are you gonna think all the way outside the box? Are you going to deviate all the way hard left to what you have known as your norm and expectation? Are you going to continue to expect that your rulers, your owners, and your bosses are just going to grow a heart and do right by you? That you are going to make just the perfect, eloquent speech that is going to break through the hardness of them? Didn't she say something about the hardness of their heart? Hold on, wait a minute. Let me pull this Bible back out. Didn't she say something about that? About the hardness of their heart? And the malignancy that sprung from the evil in their heart? Didn't she say something about that? Hold on. Right here. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt show these people all these words, and they shall say unto thee, wherefore hath the goddess pronounced all these great evils against us? What did we do to deserve this? Why she so mad at us? And they will say, why she mad at us? Why has she pronounced all this great evil against us? Or what is our iniquity? What we did wrong? What's our iniquity? What we did wrong? Or what is our sin that we have committed against the goddess? So, and then thou shalt say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me, saith the goddess, and have walked after other gods, make believe, and have served them and have worshipped them through bloodshed and brigandage, and have served them and have worshipped them and have forsaken me and have not kept my laws. Ye have done worse than your fathers. Y'all that are allowed to keep saying we ain't do shit, we ain't own no slaves, y'all ain't no slaves. Why y'all always mad at us? Why y'all always playing the race card? We ain't did nothing. Everybody got equal opportunity here. Y'all just need to pull up yourself by the bootstraps. Now she said right here, y'all think y'all good. Y'all think y'all good. But you're worse than your pappies. You've done worse to people since your pappies seized the place. Since they laid feet upon this joint, you have done worse. Not owning a single slave, you have done worse. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me Elon Musk ain't owned no slaves, but I guarantee you he is much, 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 much more diabolical than his great grandpappy. Bezos, he ain't owned no slaves, but he is worse than any of his antecedents. She said, yeah, all that, and you still did worse than your pappy. For behold, you walk everyone after the imagination of his evil heart. You walk after the imagination of his evil heart, your pappy, your grandpappy, your great-great-grandpappy, all the way back. You worse than your fathers because you still look back at the imaginations of the evil of his heart with grandeur. Look at my great ancestors and what they contributed to this. Look at our wonderful forefathers and what they have contributed. Look at this great nation that our forefathers, our great forefathers have left for us. Look at the great nation that is America, even though everything in your black ass existence, everything in your red ass existence, everything in your brown ass existence has been quite the contrary. You will still hold them up. She said, and ye have done worse than your fathers, for behold, ye walk everyone after the imagination of his evil heart, that they may not hearken unto me. You be holding up the make-believe. She said the evil of his heart. What's the evil? She said, after the imagination of his evil heart. What's the imagination of his evil heart? The great white Father God in the sky. Yes, it is. She said it's make-believe. And because he has occupied your head, your heart has hardened towards me. You can't hear me because you have allowed him to occupy your heaven. You cannot hearken unto me. Therefore, this is a great book for them to steal. This was a great book for them to steal and give the goddess a sex change, because this shit sounds real terrifying when you're thinking about a great white bearded diabolical god in the sky who is just murking bitches to and fro. This shit has been real effective. It's been real efficient. But when you change it to who is actually speaking through it, the grand androgyne, it makes so much sense, doesn't it? Therefore, I will cast ye out of this land. She said, look, don't warn them. What did she say? Oh, let me read these other two. In the other two scriptures, she said, don't warn them. Those wicked who are stuck in their ways, she said, don't warn them. Don't warn them. She said, not only do not warn them, because they will die in their iniquity. She said, but not only will they die in their iniquity, she says, I will require their blood at your hand. That's what the book says. That's what your book say. Do not warn them away from their iniquity. Don't try to save them. They didn't earn that. They didn't earn my judgment. Don't try to save them. They didn't earn that. They didn't have all the chances in the world. They didn't earn that. So don't be out there trying to put them on game, trying to rescue them, trying to save them from themselves. They didn't have all the warnings they gonna get. They done had all the warnings they gonna get. And she say, when I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou wilt surely die. Do not speak to warn the wicked from his way. Do not speak to warn the wicked from his way. That wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood I will require at your hand. That's what your book say. 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 Don't attempt to save him. He done, what they say in Jeremiah, he done wreaked so much havoc on the world. He done earned my judgment. He done earned my judgment. He done earned my judgment. Do not attempt to win him from his way. And when the trumpet blows, that's going to be your alert. That's going to be your alert. When the trumpet blows, that's going to be your alert. Because he ain't just going to quote, because what y'all be saying? What y'all be saying? What y'all be saying? What y'all be saying all the time? Well, you know he gonna get his karma. He gonna get his in the end. Well, you know, God is the judge. God gonna take care of it. But the God y'all talking about, if y'all believe that the God y'all talking about is a dude right up in here, the God y'all talking about just said right here that the only way the wicked is going to get his just dues that I have guaranteed him over here in Jeremiah 16 is at your doing. Not only at your doing, I demand it that the wicked must be judged. But what it say right here? The wicked man must be judged, that he will die in his iniquity. But his blood I will require at your hand, good follower, good obedient follower. Yeah, he ain't just gonna disappear out the sky or die of natural causes, bitch. He say right here, this is my judgment for both of you. He gotta die, and I require his blood by your hand. That's what it say. That's what it's saying. Yep. He say again, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, if he turns from his sin and do that which is lawful and right, if the wicked restore the pledge, give again that he had been robbed. Listen, oh shit. Listen, this going down a little bit. It say again, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die. If he turn away from his sin and do that which is lawful and right. What is lawful and right? If the wicked restores the pledge, give again that which he had robbed, walk in the statutes of life without committing iniquity again, he shall surely live and he shall not die. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That's what your book saying. Therefore, the only way for the wicked to save himself is not absolution, like your ass was taught. He could just go into the booth and say, you know, it's been a few days since my last confession, and I just want to tell you what I did messed up so I can feel good in my spirit and still go to heaven. That ain't what your Old Testament said. Your Old Testament said there wasn't no absolution. There wasn't just no get out of jail free card. That ain't what this said right here. That if you want to avoid the very painful death that is ensured to you by my judgment, that your only salvation is not only to abide by that which is lawful and right. She goes on to say that which is lawful and right means that the wicked must restore the pledge. What's the pledge? To give it to give again that which he had robbed, to walk in the statutes of life without committing iniquity again. None of his sins that he has committed shall be mentioned unto him. He has done that which is lawful and right, and he shall surely live. Yet the children of thy people say, the way of the Lord is not equal. But as for them, their way is not equal. When the righteous turneth from his righteousness and committeth iniquity, he shall die. He shall even thereby die. But if the wicked turn from his wickedness and do that which is lawful and right, he shall live. This is a word. This is a word. There's a glimmer of hope for y'all. There's a glimmer of hope for y'all, and y'all know who y'all are. There's a glimmer of hope for y'all right here in y'all own book. Because the guy to say, look, I put you here for a reason. You feel me? And I want to give you the opportunity to continue as a species. So I'm gonna give you, cut it out. Cut it out. I want to give you an out. I want to give you one. I want to give you an out. And that only out according to your good book up in here in Ezekiel 33 is to not only, quote, turn away from your wicked ways, your iniquity. It is to return in like that which you have taken, that which you have robbed. What have you robbed? You want me to run down the line? You have robbed land, life, happiness, joy, peace, sovereignty, safety, rest, happiness, ecstasy, minerals, work, years. You've robbed years. You've shortened lifespans. You've stolen intellect. You've stolen genius. You've stolen property. You've stolen generational wealth. So your debt is big. Your debt is, there ain't no pass go. There ain't no get out of jail free card, and there damn sure ain't no motherfucking absolution. There damn sure ain't no absolution. The damn sure ain't no absolution. It's the last one I'm gonna read, and I'm gonna get up off here. Damn sure ain't no absolution. We're gonna have to refer to y'all good book more often. Matthew 7, 1 through 5. And this one's heavily marked already, so I wonder what they're going to put us on game with right here. Matthew 7, 1 through 5. Judge not that ye be judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with the measure, and with what measure you meet, it shall be measured to you again. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, be considereth not the beam that is in thine own eye? Or, I don't like this scripture, because there's some turning hand shit. Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam of thy own eye, black. Give not that which is holy unto the dogs. Do. Seek and you shall find. For everyone that asketh receiveth. Do. Yeah, no, not that one. We tried, but not that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm clear. I'm forever clear. And so sometimes y'all might have to yank my chain when I be giving off this peace and love and redemption vibe. Sometimes I'm wrong. I know it's hard to believe. Sometimes I'm wrong. And today, that's the only salvation. That's the only balanced justice. That's the only salvation. And you know why she said that in that book? Because she already saw the writing on the wall. That even as she gives a way out, they will not heed. They will not take heed. They will not take heed. That's what's coming. But even as she gives them a way out, they will not take heed. Watching all these videos of Standard Oil, John D. Rockefeller, insurance companies that we use today, not even trying to hide it, straight up murdering black people who had acquired any kind of wealth or land, straight up murdering them. Story after story after story after story after story after story after story today. 9 black men in Tulsa, Oklahoma, who were responsible for helping build seating Tulsa, Oklahoma. They were all oil tycoons. Had gotten in early on the oil rush. This is how they were able to build Tulsa, Oklahoma. And the mistake was they had white business partners. They did. We had white business partners. And their business partners was meeting behind their back and agreed there ain't no way we can let these 9 men keep this oil, keep this money. They ain't have no right to be millionaires. And strategically, one by one, what did they say? It took 3 weeks to kill all 9 of them. And they wanted to make sure that nothing quick. All deaths had to be gruesome. This was before the bombing at Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yep. Like the Osage people. Yep. That I didn't watch the movie just because I hate Leonardo DiCaprio. Like loathe profoundly Leonardo DiCaprio. And so I didn't watch the movie, but 2 years before the movie was released, I watched the author of the book. What is it? Children of the Killer Moon. I think that's what it's called. Children of the Killer Moon, about the Osage people. And I watched the guy who wrote the book. I watched a YouTube live of a lecture, 2-hour lecture that he had delivered on the book and what his research had led him upon. Yeah. Meanwhile, while this white boy Gavin Newsom talking about, this is the last thing I'm going to say, talking about the great Greek democracy and the wonderful Roman Republic, same day, this Sam Altman, in all these different videos, calling him the new Oppenheimer. I better be paying attention to this shit these motherfuckers be talking when they think you ain't listening. I know how to do that. I done spent too many days and hours with goddamn medical conferences at Yale and Harvard, where because your ass black, you always invisible, which sometimes is a good thing. Because if your ass is black and they treat you like you invisible at a medical conference, at a Western medical conference, what typically happens, those of you who are black and who spend a lot of time around white people, whether it's professionally or, collegiately or whatever, they really do be talking around you like your ass invisible. And so what your responsibility is to take notes. Is to take notes. Because they really presume, no matter your education, that your ass is dumb as a box of rocks. And all they got to do is, quote, talk above your head. And they really believe they can say whatever they want, that you're not going to understand, you're not going to comprehend. Go into them medical conferences was probably the singularly most eye-opening experience I ever had. Yeah, 4,000 people, if not more, at this convention. It was sobering, their level of arrogance. Like, I'm like, did he really just say that? And everybody else is like, I'm like, wait, Did y'all just hear did y'all not hear what he just said though? Yo. That's what's happening right now. That's what's happening right now. I'm not telling you to not be outraged. I'm not telling you to not be angry. I'm telling you to not allow your emotions to create a smokescreen so that you do not see what you are supposed to see, what you need to see. You got a right to be outraged. You got a right to be angry as hell, to want to wild the fuck out. But do not allow your emotions to take precedence to the extent that it blinds you to what they are saying in your face because of their undeserved, arrogant presumption that you don't hear what they saying. And they're doing it all the time. This cracker, Gavin Newsom, I was already mad when I saw the video, and I was like, okay, that's the one time he making his little speech in Texas, whatever. And then the very next day, several of y'all sent me different video clips of him saying the same thing in different spaces. They playing in y'all face. They playing in your face. They playing in your face. Because they so arrogant, they presume you stupid. And I'm not saying you stupid. I'm saying you see the world the way that it has been prescribed for you to see. And what I'm trying to teach you is that everything that you hear, take the exact and direct opposing position, and you're probably going to be better off. Even if you don't understand everything that's being said, as it's being said, if your default is whatever comes out of the mouth of an old white man, whatever comes out of the mouth of a fucking billionaire, whatever comes out of the mouth of anybody that is a representative of the state, I'm on default. I don't need to hear no speech. On default, on general principle, I'm taking the opposing position. And I'll learn the details later. I'll read about the details later. I'll learn what I need to learn later. But you're probably going to be safe. You're probably going to be the safest you ever going to be if that is your default position. If you got a 3rd grade or 8th grade education and you don't understand all the lingo, that will save you. I don't care what he said. I don't care how good it's saying. I don't care how many people clap. I don't care how many people say they voting for him. I'm automatically taking the exact and opposite position on GP. And I promise you, there will never be a time that position will fail you. I promise you. There'll never be a time that position will fail you. On GP. On GP. I'm taking the opposite position. If they are part of the state, if they old rich white men, if they old white men, I do not fucking care who that old white man is. I know y'all love Noam Chomsky. Take the opposite position. Take the opposite position. I'm telling you. If it's Karl Marx, take the opposite position. And contrary to what you believe, the opposite position to Marx is not capitalism. Take the opposite position. I don't give a fuck. I'm telling you, I do not care who the old white man is. I don't care. I don't care who the rich man is. I don't care. I don't care how much, quote, philanthropic shit he done did. I do not. Always the opposite position. They always the bad guy. Have me tell it. They always, if they're part of the state, they the bad guy. If they rich and white, they the bad guy. If they rich and Negro, they the bad guy. If they female, rich and Negro. If they a billionaire and they female and they black, they the bad guy. They the bad guy. I'm that clear. And I'm unwavering in my position. I'm not saying that you cannot be rich. I'm not saying that either. When I say rich, y'all know what I'm talking about. The rich I'm talking about is exploitative rich. The rich I'm talking about is every time you turn around, you finding out they using some slave labor in some third world country where the oldest person working is 12 years old. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I didn't know that my brand was using child slavery. Oops, my bad. But look at all this great shit I did over here. What's this this white boy name? I forget his name. Hold on. Let me look real quick. He might very well be the only one that I would give a pass to. Hold on. What's his name? Dan Price. Y'all heard about Dan Price? Y'all heard about Dan Price? He might be. He might very well be. But I'm going to tell you, my GP default position is the opposite position. I have not been able to find, as of yet, anything negative about this boy, Dan Price. I will say, though, if I do find something negative, I would not be surprised, because on GP, my default position is that if you are rich and white and male in particular, but not exclusively, because if you black and rich and male, if you rich like that, if your ass is worth $668 million, you still guilty. You might not be a billionaire, but you still guilty. Because somebody is exploited for you to have $668 million. Y'all hear what I'm saying? I do not have a problem with people getting money, becoming wealthy. There is a difference between wealth, abundance, and opulence. There is there's a whole wide ocean of difference between healthy acquisition of an abundant life and opulence. Opulence is always synonymous with exploitation. Somebody is exploited. Somebody is exploited. It's a requirement. It's a requirement. But this dude, Dan Price, made big news, made all the rich white people mad. I'm surprised they ain't killed him. And because they ain't killed him is the only thing that would give me pause. It's the only thing that would give me pause. Because this was a guy who was a multimillionaire and decided, he was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I don't need to be a millionaire. I can be a rich man and not be an opulent millionaire and live a wonderful life and live in a way that I still am able to leave my children a lot of money and still be able to ensure that my employees too have a good life, have a long life, have not only adequate, but excellent health care and a great salary. Do you know what this white boy did? Instead of giving himself a multi-million-dollar a year salary, he gave himself, of his multi-million-dollar valued company, almost $1 billion company, he gave himself, he said, from now on, I'm going to pay myself, what did he say? $70,000? Hold on. Yes. He said, I'm going to pay myself $70,000 a year. That's his salary that he pays himself. $70,000 a year. But not only am I going to pay myself $70,000 a year, I'm going to pay every single employee that I have $70,000 a year. That even the janitors in his company make $70,000 a year. That's what he did. And I remember all the news broadcasts, because all the commentators, all the so-called, what do you call them? Economic specialists was throwing a temper tantrum. This is insane. This is the craziest thing we've ever heard. He's gonna be bankrupt in a year, and quite the opposite. His turnover, his employment turnover rate dropped to less than 10% in the first year, and people didn't want to leave. People wasn't gonna quit. People were happier. He cut the work week. Paid everybody $70,000. Everybody in the company, $75,000 salary, no matter what they did, from the janitor all the way up, $70,000, and his business ballooned. The value, the net value, the worth of his business ballooned in the first year. I think he's either in Oregon or Washington. Hold on just a second. He is the CEO of Gravity Payments. He made headlines. I don't even know if y'all can hear me while I'm talking. Hold on. Can y'all hear me? I know my screen probably went dark because of this
program I'm using, I can't. Y'all can hear me even though y'all couldn't see me. Let me see. Because with this share screens. Yeah, let me try it this way. I know sometimes when I try to share screen because my computer's so crazy. Here it is. It says CEO of Gravity Payments made headlines in 2015 when he announced a drastic pay cut from his $1.1 million salary to $70,000. This move was a part of a plan to ensure that every employee at the company could earn at least $70,000 annually. Critics initially laughed at the idea, but 5 years later, Gravity Payments had tripled its revenue and became a business success story. The CEO's decision has been recognized as an exemplary case in business studies, highlighting the importance of investing in employee well-being and the power of compassionate leadership. Oh, yeah, I remember that, Yolanda. She said they had a company baby, and it was so sweet. The couple that worked there said that they could finally afford to have a child. Look at this wicked ass system, y'all. Let me see. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. There you go. And it's funny because one of the videos that I sent y'all today, two of the videos, one was about Henry Ford. How they attribute the origin of the middle class in America they attribute the origin of the middle class in America to Henry Ford. That Henry Ford had all this competition. They said they accredit Henry Ford with the quote creation of the modern middle class in America, and it talked about this scheme. They tried to big it up, but it was a scheme. The scheme that he had because there was growing competition in the automotive industry at this time, and the wages were miserable for everybody. And all these big automotive companies springing up out the concrete like daisies and wasn't paying their workers worth of nothing. And so apparently Henry Ford had this epiphany one day that if he paid, how could he what did they say? That if he paid his workers more, he would guarantee that he was like, no, he said, how did they say it? It was basically like he started paying his employees more so that he would have a healthy consumer base. He was like, how can I expect my workers to buy the car if they can't even afford the car that they make it? So overnight, he increased the wages of everybody that worked at his factory overnight. And this is in, what did they say, 1929 or some shit? He increased the wages of his employees. It was like 1,300 employees. He increased their wages to $5 an hour overnight. And again, everybody thought he was crazy. Oh my God, he's going to be bankrupt. What kind of lunatic would do this? And word spread so fast of this $5 an hour increase in wages at this place that everybody was leaving the other auto industries trying to get a position.
at Henry Ford's place. And they say that this marked the beginning of the growth of the American middle class. This is what made him a billionaire. This strategy of paying y'all just a little bit more. One, to make sure that you are always consumers of that which you are growing in wealth. I'm gonna pay y'all $5 an hour extra while every car y'all make together, one car a day would pay everybody in the factory wage. But I'm gonna give y'all $5 an hour because I know that as soon as y'all making enough money, the first thing y'all gonna want to do is come and buy that which you are producing. Give me money to buy back that which you have generated in wealth. Ain't that the setup? Ain't that the grandest of okie dokes? Ain't that the grandest of okie dokes? Ain't that the grandest of okie dokes? It made him a billionaire damn near overnight. It grew the middle class. It grew what would become the American middle class. And it damn near decimated his competition. And he made out like a bandit. He's like, all I got to do is sacrifice a couple of cars a day to pay 13,000 people's wages. And they don't even think about the fact that they spin out 25, 30 cars a day between them. Probably more than that. 100 cars a day they making. I can sacrifice a car. I can sacrifice a car a day to pay them their little measly wages. Yep. So anyway. Oh, I didn't realize that. Somebody said he was an immigrant business. I didn't even realize that. Don't surprise me none, though. Your beloved Elon is an immigrant, and he doing jolly all right up in this joint. As a matter of fact, the two Indian dudes, Vivek and what's the other dude name? They immigrants. They doing all right. They doing all right. Patriarchy wins in the end, don't it? Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm sleepy and I'm hungry. I'm not gonna go to sleep, but I'm definitely gonna eat. And yeah, I'm gonna do another live tomorrow. I'm gonna be posting a lot of shorts. I have so much to do. I'm gonna be posting a lot of shorts though, just to keep my content up. So make sure you're watching everything. Even if I know I got a pretty face, but even if you're going back and watching old stuff, even if you just do like we did in the old days, do like we did in the beginning. You feel me? Because my page is monetized. So if you just like play one of my long videos, like one of them 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hour joints, and just play it on your phone or play it on your TV and put it on mute and let it play out while you sleep. You feel me? I'm getting commercial kickbacks off of that. They ain't much, but it's more than nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So like, if you in traffic, if you stuck in LA traffic or New York traffic, take your little phone, open up a video, watch it if you want to, don't if you don't, but let it play on mute so I can still get the little commercial, the little advertisement like kickbacks. Because I can see right now with what's happening, support the GoFundMe, share the GoFundMe, and it doesn't matter to who. You don't have to know them well. You do not know. Your resources may be jacked up, but you do not know whose resources or not. And I might post just the right thing. So I'm posting like a lot of video updates on the GoFundMe. I'm posting a lot of picture updates, pictures of me teaching children, pictures of me teaching elders, pictures of me doing what I do so that you can see that what you are supporting is actually what you're supporting, right? So share the GoFundMe and send it out in blast. It doesn't matter to who. Somebody That's how miracles happen, is when you cast a web and you just say, I'm gonna throw the web out there, and what's for me is coming to me. But you have to cast the web in order for the miracle to happen. It don't just happen. It is a consequence of a web you've cast that draws miracles to you. Tell me that's how it works. So if you can't do anything but share the GoFundMe, share the GoFundMe. Okay. The other thing is, go to the Etsy store regularly. I'm going to be regularly adding new content to the Etsy store, primarily digital content. Okay. So go to the Etsy store regularly, share the Etsy store, book readings with me. Book readings with me. If you're interested in a reading, send me an email at evoemetemp@gmail.com. evoemetemp@gmail.com to inquire about a reading, aka divination. And you can use that email address to send a donation, a direct donation via Zelle or PayPal. You can send a Cashapp to $DaughterOfTheFates, FATES, or a Venmo to Cassandra, Cassandra-Floyd, FLOYD. I have a workshop. I told you I'm going to do a workshop this coming weekend for kids to teach them how to make their own musical noise makers, right? But I'm thinking about also doing this as like a Zoom workshop for the extended family. You feel me? So keep your eye out for those type of things. November 19th is coming up so fast. And November 19th is the 1-year anniversary of that ritual that we did up on top of Mount Washington. I'm not going to put out what I want to do right this second. It's not going to be an event. It's going to be something that I want to do. I want to offer. But it just depends on how this week goes. I really have to push this GoFundMe. So, and y'all can help me do that. That's bare minimum. Anytime you make a post, on your Facebook or on your Twitter or on your, what you call that? Your TikTok or whatever. Shout out the GoFundMe, man. Shout out the GoFundMe. And then, there's too many things that I want to do. I would really like to do something for the 19th. We shall see. And then the Etsy store. Go to the Etsy store. And I feel like I'm missing something. But I can't think. I want to get back to finishing the reading of The Power. But I'll be honest, man. I have been so overwhelmed, so subdued. And when I say overwhelmed, I'm not talking about emotionally overwhelmed. I'm talking about as soon as my feet hit the floor in the morning, I have been sitting in this chair all day except for the 1 hour that I took to go get my old people lunch. You feel me? And came right back and have been sitting in this chair ever since. It's like that every single day. Every single day. And it's like no matter how much I do, I'm like, damn, why I don't feel like I got nothing done? Like I'm really clawing myself out of a mountain. I'm like, I did so much today. I'll be feeling really good. Like I did that. Look how much I got done off my list. And then I'm looking at the rest of the list like, oh my God, I really didn't get anything done. I really didn't get anything done. So anyway, so like I was saying at the very, very beginning, there are no tasks. There is no action that you take on behalf of the temple that is too small. It really is not. If all that you can do is take your favorite videos and make 60-second clips to share out of them with the GoFundMe attached, and that's all you can do is once a week, it is not too small. It's not too small. It's not too small. Because every time somebody helps me with any kind of promotion or advertisement that I'm doing, because I'm doing it over so many platforms, I'm using my StreamYard to try to edit down shit, chop shit up, this and this and this and this, and I'm doing this thing and still trying to download the more than 900 videos on this channel so they don't get lost. through these people who are actively dismantling people's stuff. It's just like, not just that, my regular, it's just a lot. So when you say, you know what, today I'm gonna spend 20 minutes just copying and pasting the 411 on the GoFundMe and her and my favorite video attached to it, and just send it out to everybody that's in my email list, or text it to 5 people that I know will actually take the time to watch the video, or whatever. No task is too small that you can contribute to these next 8 weeks that we have left in the year. The fundraiser that I am doing, I know is ambitious. That's why I'm doing a multiplicity of things in conjunction with it. It's not just the GoFundMe. I'm talking about like this workshop thing. The primary thing is I want to capture a lot of live footage to add to the updates as real-time updates, so that people see that I'm not just talking out of my mouth to y'all on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I'm supposed to be going to volunteer at another thing, at a food drive this weekend. I'm not just talking to y'all on YouTube, and this is what I'm calling the temple work. Even though I got my own peculiar circumstances that I need to address, it's still not going to stop me from doing those things that I feel called to do for my extended community, and I still do those things. You understand what I'm saying? So, I will be posting very regularly updates on the GoFundMe. I'm probably going to launch 2 other like crowdfunding things, like through different platforms or whatever. And so I just got a lot that's coming down the pike. And so no way that you can contribute is too small. That's all I'm saying. It's appreciated, and I would like to be a little bit more strategically thoughtful. I hate saying the word discipline. More strategically thoughtful about more regularly calling out those who have supported economically, either to the campaign or donating directly. And also, I want to encourage people, especially those of you who are tuning in via IG, to consider becoming a paid subscriber to the YouTube channel. And I think that's all I have for you. I really want to finish this book, The Power, but there's only 8 weeks left in the year, and I am trying to meet the goal of the GoFundMe fundraiser. I think we can do it. I think we can raise the $125,000 by January 1st. I feel convicted. I do. I feel convicted that we can do that. And so that's the ambition between what I'm doing here on the ground and what the GoFundMe has the potential to do out in the world. I'm convinced. I'm convinced that it can happen. So so if you can think of something that I cannot think of as a way to ensure the fundraiser's success, then you could email me at evoemetemp@gmail.com, because I cannot think of everything. I don't want to try to think of everything. And it might be something right here in my face that I cannot see that is completely simple and like, oh my God, yes, how did I not see that? But I can't see it because I'm looking through the lens of a million other things. So if you have an idea, if you have a eureka moment that I absolutely must know and do, please shine the light on me, and I will accept it. Okay? Like, you're missing it. Cassandra is right here. Let me put you on game. I am wide open to its reception. Okay? So I think that's it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's it. I will say one more thing. I am going to be doing, if I cannot do anything on the 19th, which does not look, I would like to do something outside. I would like to do something relatively significant for the 19th, but the 19th is hella close. There is a benchmark deadline that I want to meet with the fundraiser. That's happening between now and the 19th will determine my ability to do something magnanimous for the 19th, or should I pump the brakes on that for the event that is a certainty in December? So I will be, without a doubt. I do not care, even if it's on a shoestring budget. I would rather it not be on a shoestring budget, but there is a gangster move that I am going to be pulling in December. December 21st and 22nd, the temple will be hosting an event. The 21st and the 22nd, the temple will be hosting an event. I will give you the details more when I create the Eventbrite for it, which should be in the next 2-3 days. I am going to be hosting something for the temple on the 21st and the 22nd of December, which is the winter solstice. And then I told y'all that the 22nd of December is Global Orgasm Day. I'm just giving it to you blood raw. The 21st is the winter solstice, and the 22nd is Global Orgasm Day. The Temple of Evolutionary Emergence will be doing an event at least for those 2 days, like a singular event that covers those 2 days, ideally 3 days. That's what I would like to do. So I will keep y'all posted on that. I'll be working on the Eventbrite for that over the next 72 hours. And that's it. Now I'm going to say goodnight and go in trying to figure out in my kitchen what I'm going to eat. If you have any questions, if you have any feedback, any insights, any divine interventions, email me at evoemetemp@gmail.com. All right. Y'all have a good night. Happy anniversary to the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. And I will see you guys tomorrow.